I mean, laptops need to start having C inputs rather than regular USB inputs.
So you never have to question which way to put the cable in. Very careful about it now.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, Jay.
Welcome to Countless Heroes.
Oh, god damn it.
You didn't even count.
That's so unprofessional.
He said, let's get started.
Every single time I say that I'm going to do this, everybody is screaming, do it, do it. All right. And then when I do it, you give me shit. All right. I just wanted to give a glimpse to our audience about the types of things we talk about before we get started. I also want to give anybody, Kyle, Mike, the chance to say anything to make me mess up. So anyway, welcome to Countless Heroes, that crazy 16-player West Marches style campaign where I, Logan, take on 6 of my players at a time. Hello, players.
Hello.
I'm uncomfortably warm.
Hello.
And hello to our wonderful audience. Thank you all for being here. We understand it's Saturday. You have a choice in entertainment, and you've chosen us. We appreciate that. It also might not be Saturday.
Sorry.
It could be Tuesday for you. It might be, because it's VOD.
Ooh.
We do a VOD.
Do we just assume that it's always Tuesday for VOD?
Yes, because, watching the show is sort of a Tuesday thing.
Oh, that's...
It's not a Monday thing. I agree with that.
Definitely not a Monday thing.
Well,
Nobody
it won't
needs
be a
those kind of
Tuesday thing once we actually start streaming.
That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. They're going to miss us on Tuesday, so the people that don't want to watch Shenanigans, what's wrong with you? They'll be watching this on Tuesday.
I was going to say, who won't?
Yeah, Shenanigans is...
I'm excited for Shenanigans.
I'm very excited to get back to Shenanigans. I have been making plans.
Oh, God.
I don't like it when Logan makes plans, because the fact is, yes, Logan does make plans, but it's a lot of sit-at-the-cuff thing, which means when he makes plans, it's scary.
It's more of like... There's
They're more like
plans,
guidelines, really.
Yeah, and machinations is where I would put you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, machination.
He's an improvisational mustache twirler. He doesn't plan to do
Wow.
terrible things.
So Angela was talking, but I was looking at Lark because it looked like he was about to talk, and the lips synced up. And I was like, what is going on here? I thought, never mind. That was very
Our
strange.
mind meld has-
Go back and watch the VOD. We'll just at that moment, just watch Mike, and oh yeah. Anybody want to recap what happened last time, or do you want to do more shenanigans?
Ooh, can we play Shenanigans?
We'll get Heather and Tessa. We'll just start, and everyone else can be...
Not shenanigans, shenanigans.
So, last night we were back on the ship and sailing around the southern tip of the island, right? To proceed to the Farosh and Chiton inhabited portion of the island. On the way there, we found that Errol was in his bunk and coughing up a storm like he was going to lose a lung. Not that well, yeah. Thanks, Ange, for that visual. Callie went in, and it turns out that he had been infesting his cabin with colony spores since he had arrived on the boat, and he had become rooted in the colony spores. And then after a very disgusting extrication process, he rejoined the crew. We saw on land a small thatched hut in a clearing on just off the beach. We decided to go ashore, and it turns out that the hut was much, much bigger than we anticipated. After some very cautious maneuvering and some use of Animate Dead, we managed to get inside the building by Errol turning into a gaseous form and proceeding upstairs. In the bedroom upstairs was a rather beautiful naked woman who he attempted to gently smother to wake her up, which worked. He used his gaseous form to kind of like, cover the mouth type thing to wake her up, and she did. And we all got inside, and she was a little bit miffed that we had woken her up from her nap. She didn't decide to put on a bathrobe. She stayed very naked, which didn't seem to faze anyone in the party. No one was like into it. It was just, it was like, okay, we're just being respectful.
Are we sure she wasn't super angry at having been mildly smothered?
No, her words were like, "You woke me up from my nap." Like that was more her concern. Yeah, the mildly smothered that would throw me off too, but it didn't seem to faze her. she started making us tea, and there was conversation of her and her sister, who turned out to be Guyena, the goddess of Kairos, who we've been adversarial with up to this point. And I missed the portion where she turned into a different person, but she basically said, hey, you're going to have to serve yourself tea, and then turns into Guyena. So they are both the same person. That person's name was Hedwig, by the way. Guyena shows up and says that we're looking like tasty snacks, and Errol inadvertently or purposefully sells his soul to her by putting his finger in a cup of tea, and she keeps the cup of tea in like a wall of tchotchkes. Conversation is had, and it is revealed through Callie's remembrances and references to Holy Scripture that this likely being Guyena, who is trying to become a god through the worship of Kairos, or Corrosians, and their war tactics, trying to spread across the world, is an attempt to re-attain godhood, because she is in fact one of the primal gods, Cass, the god of magic. But she is also, in fact, the Baba Yaga, who has spread herself out amongst the world as the Nakosta race. So if she cannot be reunited by killing all the Nakosta and becoming the Baba Yaga again, she wants to reobtain godhood through alternate means, and has essentially sworn enmity with us as the party because she recognizes us as potentially able to stop her plans, which is heartening and terrifying at the same time.
We did this once already.
No one watched us do this.
True.
So we got back on the boat. Before we got back on the boat, Errol, the coughing and hacking had turned out that Colony was taking over his body faster than anticipated. It was an expected thing, but he didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Over the course of the day, he had given Pip back his fur stole, which was a piece of his Farosh friend. He gave Soxy back the chitin armor pieces that he wore, which were pieces of his chitin friend, and asked us to return those remains to their respective families for proper burial and treatment. Errol evaporated like spores in the wind, and we got back on the boat and bleached the shit out of his cabin, so that way we wouldn't become infected with Colony, because mold,
That
man.
seems scary.
It's on a ship. And,
True, black mold.
Don't black and green mold. Very specific. That's about it. We continued sailing. There was like bits about like, the island is gonna kill you, so I don't have to, from Guyena. Oisin said, I'm gonna live, for another 1,000 years, and she's like, nah, maybe a year at most. Various like layered threats, and things. So yeah, it's gonna be a time.
Oh, also Kiros moved south over the border.
You take that bit, Jay.
That was basically it. Kiros moved south over the border, and the countries are at war now.
Which we found out because Oisin had messaged Pinball, and Pinball had replied with a heartfelt but concerning response about Kiros moving south, and admonishing the party to remain safe. I think the implications there are that it's not safe in Cinderhaven currently.
Should we go volunteer? I volunteer.
For what?
Isn't there a war? We should go fight.
You can go swim home if you want.
I don't think that would
take a little
work.
while.
I can only doggy paddle.
Oh, I did remember something. Sorry for interrupting this
No,
lovely moment.
that's fine.
At the center of Lamina Island is Jay found out, or Oisin found out. We all found out because of Jay and Oisin. Anyway, at the center of the island is a strong Fey influence, which we already knew was the case with Lamina Island. But it turns out that the hut, which much like Baba Yaga's chicken hut, exactly like Baba Yaga's chicken hut, is in multiple places throughout the island, influencing things in the surrounding area. Lots of pixies and seem to be strong Fey energies are radiating from the center of the island. So we know where Turtle Rock is.
And now we're sailing around the island again, and we're approaching the place where we can finally meet the Farouche, which we should be there soon-ish. And that is...
Depending on how much you delay today, if you guys decide to take a night or something on the island to for some reason, it could delay. But that being said, I've posted a map. You can see where you started, and you can see which is the all the way to the east there, and where you are now, which is where the ship is. The little lines kind of look like tunnels are where the Farouche are known to kind of migrate around, and you'll be stopping up by that swamp up to the left. And that is going to give you some information. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to be putting some other kind of hints on this map about where things have happened, where you've seen things, where you ran into the Baba Yaga, which was basically right in between the two little lumps down there towards the bottom where the sea is lighter. So there's going to be a lot of little updates to this map as we go on. You can see land around it. Lamina is not that close to everything. I just didn't have any more room on the map. So it's just kind of, sitting there. It's way off, though. Should be in its own little box. All right. And then, of course, the little crossed antenna things are where the chitin are. Most of them. Or at least where they've been heard about being.
What about that gold cross?
That is, as Zektor Fettles described, an anomalous group of chitin. They are not associated with the tribe. He doesn't know a lot about them, but he just knows there's an independent group.
Good, thank you. Good to know.
He suggests you ask Soxy about it if you like.
Will do.
I'm sure that'll go well.
No, JB goes and talks to Soxy. Oh, wait, no.
So right now we're on the boat.
Yes, you're on the boat. I assume that somebody would like to play with their sack. Who has not pulled from the hag bag yet? Kyle, I saw your hand.
Okay.
Kyle, why don't you give me a percentile check? Let's get the hag bag out of the way. I mean, last night was very good. I like last night.
69.
Hey!
Nice.
World shield.
Nice. Pip, as you reach into the bag, right in between two of your fingers, whatever you're trying to kind of reach in there and grab, bites or stings or pokes you right there in the webbing in between your fingers. I need a con save, please.
Okay. That is a 14.
So Pip goes rigid, falls over, and a little tiny, very small insect flies out of the bag and flies off. Unless somebody wants to try to catch it, it starts to fly away.
I'm going to try catching it.
Okay. With what?
Oh, do I want to cast fly? Do I want to cast fly to cancel?
Well, you can. I mean, it's right there in front of you. You can just reach out and grab it if you want.
Two mage hands clasp around it.
But you got to cast mage hands. Finku would be faster. So, Finku, you reach out and grab it.
Trying to avoid any sort of stinger it might have, but we'll see how well that works.
It's tiny. You can't really tell. It's like grabbing a mosquito.
Yeah.
So you grab. Are you trying to kill it?
No.
Or are you trying to grab it alive?
Trying to grab it alive. I don't know.
Give me a dexterity check.
I don't know what a mosquito is.
Russ doesn't know.
You
what
know what a
is,
mosquito.
Or Finku doesn't know what a mosquito is.
Rod, he likes to tease that they don't have mosquitoes there.
We don't. We actually don't.
Lucky for you.
Also,
Get bug repellent when you come to LA.
Dexterity or sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand's fine.
27.
I saw that smirk.
All right, so you successfully grab it, and it stings you. Please give me a con. As GB is casting at the same time, mage, because he has two of them.
I got a magic item because Logan and Tessa are nice.
That is a big old 10.
So rigid, he goes completely rigid and falls over as the bug flies back out of his hands. GB, give me a sleight of hand.
Oh, I don't have that.
He doesn't have hands. Can he have sleight of hand?
I slightly have hands. Oh no, that's a 6.
You unfortunately do not catch this little insect.
No.
I was gonna try to reach over everybody else to grab it because I'm just taller than everyone.
Just this.
All right.
This quick succession.
Go ahead
of
and give me a
reaching.
sleight of hand check. You've taken out literal
13.
gods, but this insect is going to be the death of you all. 13. You only need a 10, so you grab onto this insect. Let's see here. Bites you as well, or stings you as well. So please give me a con save.
Is it poison? Is that what it is? Because
Part of it is, part of it is not. So you're immune to poison, right?
I have advantage against poison because of the dormant kind on saving throws against poison.
Poison against poison or poison's damage or poison condition.
It says,
Okay, so both.
and I
Go
think
ahead-
being poisoned, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll it with advantage.
You're just gonna make a comment about.
It's a very good thing that was an advantage because the first one was a 1. 21.
But so you successfully capture the insect. It does sting you. You feel it, but you seem to be unaffected by it. Now, what do you do?
Well, does anyone have an empty
yeah, here.
vial from a potion?
Yeah,
Just
no, I've
puts
got
it in like
I have an alchemist kit here. Here you go.
I'm gonna put it in the vial like we did with this.
Sure. All right. So you now have this little thing in an insect, in a little vial. You put the stopper on. Now you've got a little bug.
Syl is just collecting
what
her
this is.
petrified friends, just slowly bringing them into a pile. It's okay. Just dragging Pip across the deck. Finku over a shoulder.
Mike, we can't hear you if you're talking.
GB under an arm.
No audio at all. I haven't heard you say a single thing. So if you said anything since we went live, I haven't heard you. Nope.
Nope.
Do, 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 do,
Nope.
do, 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 do,
Well, while we're
do,
waiting-
Oh,
do,
Mark,
do.
that's a great idea. You should use your lay on hands and cast lay on hands with 10 points so that the 2 people get up. Oh, okay, I understood that. That was
What-
really
what
clearly
does it
said. Good
remove?
job.
I think petrified is one of the conditions.
Oh, I can read his lips. No. He
No.
does. He's shaking. He doesn't know. Okay. 69 is what I saw you say. Yeah. 69. That's what he rolled.
Just to fill time while we're doing this, Syl was scrambled up to help everybody, including Pip, who she leaned right side up, so he shouldn't be on his side anymore. She's like, okay, and pushes him back up. And she had been in the middle of her face paint for the day, which is her ever intricate camouflage. So she's like half covered in tropical leaf colors that she's been making from all the leaves they've been finding.
All right.
You can neutralize one poison affecting a creature. You can also neutralize one disease affecting a creature.
Okay, so they will no longer be poisoned. That's one of the things, yes. Paralyzed and nauseous. That's not a good combination.
Ooh.
Well, I could fix it, but then that would be like half the spells as I can do.
But how would they learn?
I just had a terrible thought and I feel bad sharing it. Is anybody squeamish?
No. I mean, yes, but no.
You paralyze people and then make them nauseous, that just guarantees they're gonna throw up in their mouth a little.
They're not
What?
sickened, they're only poisoned. I guess they're not necessarily nauseous. No, still no. Wow, that's weird. It was working fine. Did you want to try leaving the call and coming back?
We did a Mike check total, and it
We'll
worked.
Mike. Next time we'll do a Mike check. Movie day. Thank you for being so patient with.
Did you press the button on it? I could do that sometimes.
Is your mute button on? No. Did the cable go bad? We were just talking about that.
Just to spite us.
Is the system checking, actually seeing the little bar move when you talk?
The system is down.
Is your mic on in Discord? Because sometimes.
Did I mute you on accident? Hold on.
That would be
Well, no, I
amazing.
couldn't have muted for everyone. You all
No.
would hear.
No, you can mute for everyone.
But you'd see it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's continue on. A few minutes later, Pip and Finku, well, Pip's first, wakes up or is unparalyzed. About 10 minutes total.
Is this type of insect on Lam? Does Pip know of any type of insect that causes this effect from Lamina?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, probably there are things that can do similar effects, but this one that you're looking at is not one.
What does it look like inside the vial?
It looks like a little tiny sort of, almost like a little fly, but it has like a little stinger on it. Got kind of an iridescence to its wings and.
Oh, you're kind of cute. Don't bite us.
Don't let it back out.
Okay.
No, that's a good idea. That's a glass, by the way. Don't break it.
Okay. We can put it in the bag of holding. That won't break in there.
There wasn't air in the bag of holding.
Eh.
There's only air in the vial now because stop.
Hey, you know, we could probably get some nice juice out of it if we let the air go away, and then we could just very carefully extract and then maybe put it on Finku's little poisony dagger thing.
Testing.
Hey, there you are.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Now we can't see you though.
Work.
Evidently, it's one or the other.
Can I tell what kind of fly it is? Or
Give me a nature check.
Do I have nature? I have survival. Never mind. I do have nature. Could I?
Sure,
okay,
because
because
you were studying it anyway.
is trying to roll while holding the dog and didn't do good. So.
Did
You
roll the
haven't. You haven't.
You get advantage.
She was in the way.
You haven't taught the dog that trick yet. I can do that trick. It's easy.
Uh, 19. The first one was a 10.
Okay.
It was a 10, but then a 19 because.
So this little insect, Oshin, you've only heard about. You've never, and Pip, you guys have only heard about. You've never seen because it doesn't exist in Soldan. It's from the far eastern side of the continent. Its casual name is Living Death because of the paralysis that it associates with, and it's usually from swamplands, which unfortunately means living death turns into actual death, as most of the time people stung by it become paralyzed and then fall into the swamp and drown.
Jeez.
Oh,
Okay. We've got that now.
Well, it's not native to here, so at least we don't have to worry about that on Lamina Island.
Yeah.
I would imagine on Lamina the thing would be like 2 stories tall.
Oh yes, undoubtedly.
why are we saying these things?
Oh,
Well, yeah, because we definitely see it coming. Probably dodge it a little bit.
oh, I was just thinking that the disembodied voice would hear and like, ooh, that's a fun idea. I should do that later. It'd be fun. It's called foreshadowing.
But there's 6 of us.
It's called six shadowing.
So now that we got the shitty insect out of the way, maybe we want to go and see if there's anything to be seen on the island to take a look.
Heck yeah, I
Yeah,
am ready
Yeah,
to
sure.
survey.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Pip, are you sure you don't want the look? I mean, I'm pretty proud of it right now, and you and I are a similar
did-
shade.
You did not ask Pip previously. Yes, Pip would love the look.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So I have all the natural paints. I've been pulling flowers and leaves and stuff over the course of the trip and making relatively natural looking green pigments of different shades. So I proceed to
Sounds
paint
good.
tropical. It comes out matted. You can't really paint fur super well, so it just turns into a get her hand covered in green and just start giving him stripes. He kind of looks like a tiger from, or like that magic zebra gum. He kind of looks like one of those.
Magic zebra gum.
I don't remember what that's called.
Fruit stripe
No,
gum.
this is a
Yeah.
curse.
And it's not.
because
It's
Pip's
nothing but
flavors will
magical. It
disappear
has
in
zero
30
flavor
seconds.
after 2 seconds. Yeah.
You guys had it. But yeah, she'll
All right.
she'll like start doing like sort of a leafy, spirally, stripy camouflage thing on Pip.
Yes, this is good.
Okay, turn around.
Yes.
All right. So yes, you guys are continuing on your journey around the southwestern part of the island, and well, I'm going to need some checks. So I'm going to need percentile. Who would like to start? Who hasn't rolled percentile for jungle encounters yet? Binku, roll me the first one. 100. Now remember, you have the opportunity to bypass any of these. There are 3. There'll be 3 or 4 today. I found out that we could actually get a little farther on because of how you guys did things the other day. The last one, if we get to it, the captain will insist on, of course, you going on that one and exploring something today. But you get a choice with each of the others. The problem is you won't know what's next until you decline the first, because you're traveling. You don't. If you're going to say goodbye to something, it's about 2 or 3 hours in between each one. So, unfortunately, you just never know. One of them, I will guarantee, will be relatively safe, but it's probably not the one that you'll ever expect.
What's the fun in that, though?
Yeah, what's the fun in safe? 15.
15.
Does the captain make us wear red when we're going on these missions?
Yes.
I think who wears the red? It's fine. Is it?
I think there might be a fight over it if there really was that sort of shirt. Yeah, red's a good color. I'm told.
Oh. Sil gives him a very long hug.
I'm okay.
It's just, I just always feel bad.
I learned a new spell. I call it Shades of Grey spray.
And depending on the shade of gray, it does something different.
As you come into view of this little inlet, on one side of it, you see this just beautiful sort of white stone cliff. It looks like it starts all of this white early on, that kind of ribbons up through the more natural stone above it. At the base, you see 3 huge monkeys, 15 feet tall easily. Each of them has what looks to be some sort of piece of animal that they've ripped apart. You're not quite sure what it is, just bloody heaps of meat. And they are rubbing the meat, the leg and haunches and things on the white stone, making red streaks. After they rub on it for a few seconds, they then start to eat.
Is the white stone salty?
Well, spiders, so maybe.
Or they're just testing high contrast color combinations.
Oh, you think they're painting? Hmm.
You know, commemorating getting, I don't know why I said a hard T there, commemorating the kill or something. The salt thing's probably true. I just,
Well, Pip is very familiar with the painting and then the eating of the paints, because there was like children's hour at the library, and the kids would be all dip the finger in the paint and then did. And
Wait. So parents let their kids eat paint, and I was the one who got yelled at all those times?
It was like a cornstarch and food dye paint. It was not a lead based.
Well, Sil, do you want to go trade pigments with them? You could go give them some green to add to that.
They could not tear you in half and smear you on the white rock.
Oof, yes, it'd be like chalk marks. So what?
Oh, that'd be pretty.
DM, what is the style of the does it look like they just smeared? There's no thought behind the lines or anything.
They just seem to take a meat, sometimes the same piece of meat, and just rub it up and down on the rock several times before they eat.
So they're rubbing their meat several times.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's salt, but we should go say hi. We could go give them salt.
Give me a perception check, since you've got those super goggles of seeing forever.
Perception went up. So that's 19.
Okay. I'm going to DM you something.
My rolls have been high because my modifiers have been +8. It's very nice to be level 13. I think my rolls have been 11, 12.
We could also go give them some pepper. That would make it better.
And if they fight us, you can just throw it in their face and sneeze away. I'm thinking you're right, GB though.
Well, his face got a lot of eyes and sort of mandibles. Sort of kind of looks like a spider.
A spider monkey.
Yeah.
How many?
They're fairly lanky.
How many legs do they have?
2.
How many arms do they have?
2.
How many tails?
How many teeth do they have?
Better to eat you with.
Well, we have to go and ask them.
No? Okay. Well, I guess the ships keep going. We haven't dropped anchor. I'm just saying we're going to miss out the opportunity to say hi to 3 new friends.
I don't know if they are friends.
But remember, the disembodied voice encouraged us that the safe option was likely not the one that we would expect it would be. So Pippi has a good feeling about this.
I don't know. Last time the safe one was fruit. So
Well, so here's the thing. If I go to talk to them about their paint technique, which I'm pretty sure it's not, at minimum, Pip could talk to them about enhancing the salt flavors of the meat they're eating.
That's very true.
I like
If you
Well,
if you rub it on the cliff and then sit for 10 minutes, it'll taste better because the salt will get in.
Especially because it is such big salt. Because you leave it on the outside and it does not penetrate the meat. It just draws the moisture out from the outside of it. It is called a poor man's dry aging.
See all the things you
Yeah.
could teach them.
I'm happy to go there if you want to go there.
Hey, Pip, have you ever
Lark
thought
takes
about
action,
Okay.
goes
you-
over, and
are
he
you
drops
st-
the
okay.
anchor.
I was gonna say, are you gonna
You're just going to
keep
drop the
steering
anchor,
boat?
or are you going to ask the captain to stop the ship? You've been on the ship long enough that you know it's not just about dropping the anchor. If you drop the anchor like this, you will rip off probably the anchor because the sails are in full go.
So he'll go over and ask the captain to stop.
So as she's been kind of paying
Can-
attention to
can
what
you
you're
hear
looking
me?
at, and yes, and looking through the spyglass, are you sure? I wouldn't, but all right.
I am never sure. But I'm glad that you can hear me. I was caught in this mind freeze thing. I haven't said anything to my friends since then. They couldn't hear me.
Lark, you gotta
It's
watch
been
out
very
for
odd.
Called
those-
being drunk. I've been there.
Oh, you
I
gotta,
have
you gotta drink the
I drink
lemonade
milk.
slower. Get a mind freeze like that. I know.
Brain freeze. So she has the sails put up, and they turn around and come back and slow down, drop the anchor, put the sails up, and you guys are about 3. She wants to keep a little more caution. She's not sure if these creatures can jump or anything or swim, so she stays a little bit farther away, 350, 400 feet. So you got a little bit longer of a boat ride ahead of you, but well, there you are. Good luck.
Thank you.
yes, thank you. Wondering if we should. This is a thing that we should take Trey for, just in case, you know.
I think we'll be okay, but
I've got him with me. It doesn't
he might
really
be
matter.
bored. I guess that'd be okay. Does he get in ships, the small ones that go on the, what are those called? Roundabouts?
He mostly just stays in my bag.
Oh,
Just have him there.
okay.
has he come out since we've left?
No, because things sort of just come at us, and it's too fast to get
Go ahead, take him out.
stand up. Okay.
Once we get to the island, because
Yeah, because he's really heavy.
oh, he's
Can he turn into a boat?
I don't think so.
he's probably going to be more powerful because of all the fame.
That's what I thought.
Or he
Oh.
might just be more capricious.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump in the boat now. Woo!
Okay.
So you guys start to paddle your way over to the island. Where are you going directly towards the monkeys? Are you going to park on the far side of this inlet? Do you want to park on their side of the inlet, just farther away?
Approaching them with caution might be a smart idea.
Yeah, let's go sort of
Mm.
kitty corner, maybe 100, 200 feet away, something like that. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you're parking
Yeah.
on the far side of the inlet. So you have to walk kind of around to get to them.
This is
Okay. So you go around and you park. You pull the boat onto shore.
Does anyone speak spider monkey? Because all I speak is howler monkey.
I can try to speak to them, but I have to be within 60 feet.
Oh yeah, and the brain thing. Oh, that's
I have comprehend languages. Is that a ritual spell? Let me just check.
Oh, we can. Oshin and I
is.
can speak with them.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah.
Yes, I can. I was looking at the wrong spell list.
I could also speak if we need to, but I trust your judgment, so I will leave it to you.
It is up to you if you want to be able to understand what they are saying.
Well, it takes me like 11 minutes to do it. So.
Oh, me
Yes,
too.
same.
Oh,
Oh, well then let's all cast rituals. It'll be fun.
But-
Syl-
okay. We'll have a
Syl
ritual
pulls out a-
party.
Syl
But
pulls out
mine
a
wears
book.
off very quick.
Okay. Lark, I found this book of
Almost
short stories. They're all
consumed.
about 10 minutes long, so it's really convenient for.
Can you
these-
read me one?
Sure.
And she'll sign up to Lark and just read a short story.
So everyone just pulls out books and sits down on the grass.
What is this? What is the mystery that these puppies are solving?
Oh, yeah.
Damn it. I knew it was going to happen when I said this.
Searching for
It
inspiration.
is about a train, I think.
Yeah. So they're looking for the dog treats that got stolen, and they ended up somewhere on this train going cross country. But then there was a snowstorm, and so they're all trapped on the train, and there's a murder.
At some point, did some goons cause a derailment? Or was that a different scroll?
I think
Wait,
it was an
I'm not that
avalanche.
far yet.
She's turning the pages looking for that part of the story.
Oh, is that the one where all of the puppies are the ones who stole the treats?
All 101 of them, yep.
Pip has read this one.
Spoiler alert.
And then they victimized this lady entrepreneur who spent her entire career building a fashion empire, and it was very unfair. Just because she was a career gal and didn't want kids or dogs.
Was that the story? I thought I read it a little differently.
It's the remake with Emma Stone.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Keep in mind,
In a year, you guys are going to find that fucking hilarious because that's totally coming out.
this is the abridged version. It is only 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back to reading my book now.
So,
Yeah.
12 minutes later, as all of you had to pause to listen to Syl for a while, you guys finish off your spells. What is everyone?
Comprehend languages.
Okay.
Speak with animals.
Bond.
Okay.
Speak with animals.
Okay. GB, what do you?
Telepathic bond. Sorry.
Got it. All right. So, a couple of speak with animals, a telepathic bond, and a comprehend language. And a puppies of mystery times 2.
Yes. We went back
Alrighty.
over it because sometimes you don't catch all the little details when you first read through it, and then the reread, you see all the foreshadowing. It's a callback. We need one more for the comedy rule of 3.
Got it.
We could also use it was 6 shadowing as well. That is also another
Yes.
callback.
Right.
Shall we head over to the spider monkeys?
I guess.
So, are we
Should we
going?
wait for them to eat first?
Have
no,
they finished eating by now? It's been a while.
we do what
They're still eating.
Kurt always does, and we wait until they take a big bite, and then we go up and we ask them how everything is going.
Yeah, that's why do people always do that? Like mid
It's so you
bite.
cannot
Good
respond.
answer.
Whatever.
Why? Why though? That's just rude.
Because all you can do is go. "Oh."
I
Who
think
said
that's
that?
why-
Who made that incredibly witty observation? Pip, it's you. It's so good.
I have lost.
I thought Pip had been watching Callie's scrolls.
No, Pip gets plenty of earfuls when he is sleeping.
Pip's
in the
room is right
burrow.
next to theirs.
Yeah. Pip has been used as a pillow. It is.
Oh, that's right.
I think it's just because Pip is very soft.
Pip is very soft.
Hi, Spider Monkey. Oh, I'm not the one that can talk to them. No, well.
No.
Yeah.
Hi, Spider.
So as you guys start to walk around,
Yeah.
are you doing it stealthily?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Sil picks up GB in an attempt to do it stealth.
Right there.
Someone pick me up.
Okay.
All right. Anybody being carried does not need to make a stealth check. The rest of you, though, go ahead.
What-
Give me a
I
stealth-
can
What if I'm
probably actually carry
protesting?
Lark.
If you're protesting, then then it doesn't matter.
You need to pick up Foster with as
Nope.
I can't pick up Foster. I don't think.
Nat 20 on
I
a
think
stealth
I
check.
might.
Nice.
It is Cyril's page.
It really helps.
Stealth.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
20.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 22.
Okay.
Was it a 1, Angela?
It was a 9. Not that
All right.
bad.
This is a group.
12.
He wasn't even trying and he did better than me.
Well, you do have a dog that's protesting pretty loudly in your arms.
Stop being a wiggle monster.
I forgot that we got an extra proficiency level thing. So yeah, my stealth went up.
So you guys make your way over there. You're being fairly stealthy. It doesn't appear that any of them see you. How close do you get?
60 feet.
Okay. So you're about 60 feet back, kind of obscured by the jungle line there. What do you do? They're continuing to eat. You can see that this large creature that they seem to have torn to pieces was some sort of dinosaur.
Fun.
Is that salt that you spread on the meat?
All right, hold on. I assume you're talking in Howler Monkey.
However, they communicate, sure.
Let me see how intelligent they are. 1 second.
If I don't respond to you, I can yell because everything understands me.
Yes, Pip was casting the same spell.
But also I'm a verbal. The animals just understand me all the time. I just can't understand them.
Oh, yes. Pip is forgetting because Pip is
I always forget too. It's okay.
ferocious, not-
If you prefer to talk with your mind, you could talk to me like that.
That's a
I know.
lot.
I gave you telepathic bond.
Yeah, we can all talk to each other through our minds.
This is a lot
That's
of
what we're doing
vectors of
because we're
communication, y'all. Maybe like pick a point person?
I feel like Pip has made himself the point person.
But they can't see him.
Why do you let Pip do this? He's not very charismatic.
Because Pip
I-
just did
Because
it.
you're just
Because we like seeing
So,
I
non-charismatic
can't
people.
hear you.
Pip, give me a handle animal check.
Alright.
Good.
What's my bonus to this? Animal handling. Alright. That is not a natural 20 at all. That is a 14.
14 total.
14 total.
So one of them kind of turns with this huge mouthful of just shredded meat that it's kind of ripping off and looks at you kind of casually. The other two jump in a start. One darts off and the other one throws this hunk of meat at you. 24 hits you. So it doesn't do any damage, but he hits you with this side of dino meat pretty solidly.
Thank
You're-
you.
kind of now have a Christmas motif going on. It looks like he's looking around for something else to throw at you.
Throw it back. He is playing catch.
Okay. And Pip will pick up the haunch and just kind of like toss it back towards him. Not like throw it, like tomahawk throw.
Okay.
But like just like toss it and just.
All right.
It is okay. Pip does not want to interrupt your meal after interrupting your meal.
It is a game, spider monkey friend.
He picks up another few used pieces of bone, that have meat still kind of clinging to them. It looks like he's gonna come over and charge you with it, but stops about halfway, just kind of bounces back and forth, trying like almost like he's trying to intimidate you.
Foster, stand up.
Okay, Foster stands up.
Jump up and mimic him.
Okay.
GB tries to do the same thing and just sort of like, and
Pip, do the spider monkey dance.
Pip does not have a Pip can't.
Still, you can join in instead of looking.
Oh no, it hasn't
Disturbed.
worked out before when I tried dancing. I'm just gonna stay here.
Fully aware that she's wearing a blue hat with her super impressive camouflage.
Yeah.
Do you need help? Do you need help with this?
Are you a choreographer?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the monkey, as you guys start to dance around, all of you doing weird things, do you move closer to it, like it's doing, to try to like move after you? Because you said to mimic it, Lark. I wasn't sure if that means it's gonna like charge them, like they're charging you guys.
No, he was gonna mimic the dance he was doing.
Okay,
Just where he is.
all right. The monkey almost seems amused. Kind of just gives off a loud screech and kind of a pleasant sort of sound, and then throws the bone at you guys, but more playfully, like Pip did, as opposed to like mean and trying to hit people. It's still a big bone. It's probably the size of Syl, height in height. So this was not a small animal.
Can Oshin or I pick it up?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's slimy with blood and viscera, but you can.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay, you have a big bone.
I will throw it
Heard
back.
that about you. All right. As you throw it back, he kind of loses interest in it and turns back and picks up the next piece of meat and starts rubbing it on the wall.
oh, that's right.
Who wants to lick the wall?
Oh, I'm already doing it.
Schnozberries tastes like schnozberries.
I think we'll just
What
keep
is
in
it?
the bushes.
What does it taste like?
Is it?
GB?
Well, what's it taste like?
It almost kind of tastes like a chalky cheese.
Oh, it's So it's like, hey, if you took feta and you mixed in some,
School erasers.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, school erasers, like the stuff that comes off of those green boards that sound terrible.
Oh, the ones that all the menus are on in front of all the little coffee shops in Barrel Roll? Or Barrel Run?
Mhm,
Yes,
yeah, it's like
okay.
that.
You can roll a barrel.
The monkey that's sitting there casually eating takes the half-eaten piece of meat and rubs it on this wall some more, and then puts it down in front of Pip and GB. Kind of just sits there munching and watches you.
Did you say
Pip will partake.
At least
It
you think it's
appears that
watching you. It doesn't
we
have
are eating
pupils.
at
It has
Chalk E.
4.
Cheese? And we are playing games. This is a good time.
Pip needs to express a token of his appreciation for these monkeys.
When do we get the tickets? How was the meet, GB?
It's a little stringent because of all the pun that's been flying out of the sea foam.
Chalky cheese.
It was so good.
Logan.exe has stopped working.
I hate you. I really fucking hate you sometimes. But I love you in that hatred.
I think I'm just stealth joking around Logan's perception right now.
That was really funny, Ange.
I just saw Get Out. I didn't see anything.
Pip will
What
partake.
did
of
I
the meat.
miss? All right. It is very kind of gamey and
Is it
kind of
skee ball
no.
or arcade game or what kind of game we're talking about?
It is just a game of catch. Or just throw. This is a game of throw.
Throw, eat, throw back.
it almost tastes like it's kind of got almost a raw sort of chicken meat texture, but it's got kind of almost a mild fishy flavor to it.
Would be good in a bisque.
Do we want to show them how to make bisque? That'd be fun.
What was this whole thing about Logan saying if we don't delay and decide to have a clam bake on the beach?
It's beach day. You guys would want one of those.
GB starts gathering firewood.
Okay.
He looks for sticks first.
Pip will put the meat down and look at the calm monkey. Is that Pip? GB Lark Sil Finko Oshin. Where is Finko?
I'm here.
Oh, he's in the bushes. Okay.
He doesn't even have the paint on. That's not fair.
He's really small and everything's really big here, so.
I'm just good at hiding. And that was a 32, so I'm really good at hiding.
Finko just became a tree.
Who is
Just-
Finko?
Finko just snaps his finger.
He just died 7
But
years
half
ago.
the world, people in the world die.
No, just Finko disappears. No one remembers it.
Oh no. I mean, wouldn't lose much.
Does the monkey react at all?
I don't feel very good, Mr. Lark.
No! I'm done. I'm done. It's been nice.
GB, I don't feel so good.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
GB casts prestidigitation to make his fire into a campfire.
Okay.
And he holds a couple mage hands over the campfire with one of the pieces of meat to start cooking it.
As you start the campfire, the monkeys kind of jump back a little bit and kind of look at you.
Oh, it's okay. They can't understand me, but I'll just talk in a calming voice, and everything will be okay.
It's okay. It's just, they're preparing food, the way that you sort of do on the walls.
So one of them pulls a piece of meat and comes over and starts rubbing it in the fire. The meat is big enough, it probably puts out the campfire and smears all the wood all over the place. And then he tries to take a bite of it and go,
Oh, that wouldn't be very good.
It is only good if you actually cook the meat, because then you get the nice bitter quality from the ash, and it goes into the fatty meat, and is very good with game animals. You can also use coffee or chocolate for the same thing.
Gonna use Druidcraft to just relight the campfire for him.
Great.
Cool.
GB will go over and find a pointy stick and put a piece of meat on that, and then hand it to the monkey friend, and then he'll hold his own over the fire again.
okay.
Since the calm monkey did not react to Pip's introducing the group, Pip's just going to go over to the chalk wall and try to scrape off some of it.
Yeah, it comes off pretty easily.
Okay, so Pip's going to fill up one of his pouches with it, like one of the
Okay.
bandolier pouches. Just
All right.
Pip does not think we will get anything from this.
So,
Aside from ink.
We should move on.
yeah, do we just leave or?
Well, we can wait for GB's.
So the calm monkey comes over and starts holding his seemingly mimicking GB and holding his meat above the.
I don't know. We could ask if they want to come with us. They seem fun.
I don't know if they would want us to bring people back onto the ship that we didn't start our trip with.
What happens if we lose crew members? We gotta find some sort of extras, right?
15-foot tall spider monkeys, perfect replacement.
I don't really think the spider monkeys are going to help with that, GB.
I think that they're okay here and they don't need to go back to Cinderhaven. I don't think that people in Cinderhaven would be very happy.
Oh, I wasn't saying all the way to Cinderhaven. I mean, we're just going over to Lamina, right? That's Lamina. We're going over to the other part of Lamina. Okay. I'm just saying, netting is pretty similar to webbing, and the rigging in the ship is also it's all very similar, right?
Be very
Do
top
they have webs?
GB rotates his meat.
The spider monkey staring at you does the same.
I'm gonna look around to see if they have webs, because now I'm thinking about, do they have webs?
No, they don't seem to have any sort of webbing or anything.
Okay, so just spiders in the face, I guess.
And they eat more. I mean, they eat by ripping flesh off of the thing. So it's kind of a different sort of. It's very strange.
I don't know how long I'm supposed to cook this. Pip, how long should I cook? Oh, he's gone. No.
Oh, Pip is just going to the bathroom in the jungle. It is fine. Roughly, it depends on how rare you want the meat, but you should, if it is chicken, then you should probably cook it for at least 10 minutes on each side.
I don't know that I have the patience for that. I'm just gonna eat it.
As you start to eat it, so does the spider monkey, and he seems to be very thrilled with what he's done with a little bit of cooking. the meat tastes a little different and has a little bit of a different texture. So he's kind of excited. Not cooked all the way through, but enough that he seems elated with it, and he puts it back over the fire. Until a moment later, there is this weird sort of shriek, a loud, deep, guttural shriek somewhere within the woods, and all the monkeys perk up, start looking off in that direction, drop everything they're doing, and then start to run
Towards the sound?
into the jungle. Not quite towards the sound, sort of at a lateral direction.
Okay.
Back to the ship, then? Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Or do we follow? No? Okay, back to the ship then.
Somewhere nearby, but not close, you hear trees being parted or pushed, lots of rustling and a couple breaking. Something is coming closer, something large.
Okay,
On the boat. On the boat.
Yep, someone just grab Pip, let's go.
Pip! Potty time's over.
Yeah, Pip will
Pip
come
on
back
the
with you,
Hill
that's
out
fine.
in front of me as I run.
No.
No, to the
To the
side.
side, to the side.
To the
I missed a
right.
lot of school. It is
To
in
the
the
side, to the jungle.
You don't run into the wind.
Unfortunately, you guys are quite a ways away from your boat since you parked on the other side of this inlet. As you're starting to run, the sounds are getting closer and closer. You're about halfway across when whatever it is somewhere right at the edge of the jungle. It seems to stop for a moment. Somewhere just beyond your view. Do you guys stop or do you continue?
I'm going to continue going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Running back to the longboat. Just as you get in the longboat, you hear kind of this weird cry, shriek, something nearly heartbreaking. Oshin and of course Pip, having speak with animals on. I believe you can understand them too, or not?
Yeah, I think so. I can check.
Okay, it's not necessarily words, but it is definitely anguish of some sort.
Do you think that maybe the monkeys were eating a family member of someone?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
So, running away from the noise or running towards it?
Well, you guys are almost at the longboats.
Okay.
I think maybe continue to longboat.
Okay. All row. Let's go.
Right, so you get in the longboats. You start to head off. As you
Still
get
starts rowing, yeah.
Yeah. As you get in the longboats and about halfway back, you see towards the edge of the tree line this large snout kind of pokes its head through and just starts sniffing around, and a huge claw, gargantuan sized claw, starts to kind of paw at some of the dead meat, pulling it into the jungle.
Ah,
Oh, poor thing.
Oh, the jungle.
It is, yeah. Things will be eaten or eat.
I'm okay being neither, thank you.
Me too.
Yeah, but it's still sad when you lose your.
Was that your
one
mage
down?
hand? So you're
Lark,
like-
did you write that one down as a flirt?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
wrote it down as wisdom from Pip.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Be eaten or eat.
It's a
Equally
very
valid
poetic way to
choices.
phrase it.
But yes, Pip agrees. It is sometimes necessary to take life, but it is never the preferential choice. Unless Pip is hungry.
No, it's fine.
Oh, goodbye, spider monkey friends.
Rolling faster, rolling faster.
Right. You guys make your way back to this ship without any other incidents, and the creature seems to disappear off into the forest. You don't get more of a look of its snout than anything else.
Well, I'm glad we taught the monkeys how to cook. That's good.
We didn't really teach them how to start fires because we sort of did it with
We just
magic.
we kind of just did the fire. That's
But if
I
they
mean-
find fire, then they can cook. Yeah.
We don't generally teach the children to make fire either, so I think this is probably a good step.
Yeah.
We'll come back in a few generations and see what they've done with it.
Yeah, sometimes children just do fire by themselves. So.
Lark,
someone-
write that down too. That's also very important child rearing advice.
did
Do fires. got
Sometimes
it.
children just do fire.
someone say fire?
No. We're in a wooden boat. No.
Pip had to say this yesterday. That no, we cannot burn things inside the boat because it is.
Yeah, we can't burn the boat, even though that's what Errol was telling us to
You
do.
cannot. It does not have a roof. Mrs. Morgan, are we leaving again?
I mean, if you wish to stay, we can stay, or we can go. It's your choice.
We had a slightly successful encounter with the monkeys, but I personally think it's run its course.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Bad.
I made a food joke, Pip.
Quite. All right, let's move. And she has the anchor lifted, and you guys head on out. And another 3 or 4 hours later, who's going to roll the next one?
Who hasn't rolled?
GB and I have.
All right, GB.
So
9.
even the roll is telling us no. We're not going to do this one.
Oh, that was dwarvish. Ah, that's funny. It's a false.
Oh,
cognate.
that is dwarvish. I know that now. I don't know how.
So, as you guys are yet again coming around, I mean, you do a lot of turning around on this island, coming around and seeing each new section of the island one piece at a time. Up on a short cliff, only about 30 or 40 feet up, the jungle comes almost directly up to the edge of the cliffs. Vines from the jungle creep all the way down, about halfway down on these cliffs. As you looking at the strange thing is the vines create almost a solid wall across the entirety of this edge of the cliffs for about maybe 250, 300 feet. It's just this thick jungle of vines. Oshin and anyone using a spyglass, there's several on the ship. Anyone and everyone can use them. As you look closer, you see that it looks like there are creatures and bones sort of trapped in these vines. Almost like they're stuck, being constricted by them.
Do they look like the plants in the jungle with the red moss that...
No, not at all. These are just sheets and walls of vines with creatures sort of stuck in them. Yes, Pip?
Has Pip heard of this type of thing?
Yeah. Fortunately, the Feroch only come from one particular part of the island. They don't really venture off much. This island keeps things isolated. So there's going to be a lot of things that Pip is not aware of, but sometimes there is. But as of right now, Pip, off the top of his head, is not familiar with this. That doesn't mean that he couldn't, if he wanted to make a roll through, and with his research, he may not know about it. But because Pip is Pip, he does not. He's not aware just because he's from this island.
Does GB notice any of the things that are captured by this wall of vines moving?
A few, yeah, seem to be struggling every once in a while to try to get out, and they just kind of go limp and then struggle, and like they were resting, like they've been doing it a while.
Oh, guys, we should go save them. They're stuck.
Law of the jungle.
Do vines eat people?
I mean, yeah, there's probably lots of man-eating plants inside of the jungle, or meat-eating plants. Pip would definitely be familiar with that, at least.
Most of the time it is insects, but
None of us know blight. Oh well.
I can cast fire spells. I know fire. But that would hurt everything, so I'm not going to do that.
We could fly up there, or I could use my big hand to go whoop and grab them.
That might hurt them, trying to pull them out of the vines while the vines are still holding on to them.
Would it hurt them more than being eaten by vines?
Pip has not been eaten by vines, he cannot speak.
Logan, are we within 150 feet of this?
No. Usually you're 300 to 500 feet away from the shore minimum.
What is the vote? Do we go ashore and try to see what is going on with these vine walls?
Yeah, we can.
Well, I mean, we could just have a few of us go fly up there and to just sort of see. You could go talk to some of the people, you guys that can talk to them.
I can also talk to plants.
We could just ask nicely for them to let go.
Yeah, if they're, able to move on their own, yeah.
Okay.
You want to fly up there?
Sure.
We can.
I didn't prepare fly today.
Boy, that's expensive. How about 3 of us? I can probably get 3 of us to go without too much effort.
Sure.
Who wants to?
Pip can fly on his own, he's fine.
Oh.
You can fly?
Yes, it's one of the things that the mace can do. You fly for.
Oh.
Cool.
I don't think I don't think I'm of much use. I can carry people if more people want to.
You're strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly all that strong, so maybe I shouldn't go?
Well, how about this? I'm gonna send Oshin and Sil and Lark, and then Finku and I can just read.
Okay.
And then Pip, you can fly yourself. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Fly! And GB paws Oshin, and the 3 of you start flying.
Okay.
Oshin counts as 3 people now?
Not that big.
Fine. GB does a running leap between them.
All right. Like Pepe Le Pew.
Do we need to stop the ship?
We would need to stop
Sure,
the ship.
you can come back, yeah.
Oh, that'd
Depends how
probably be
fast
a
you can
good
fly. Because it moves like 200 feet around.
Oh no, we should stop the ship. Oh god.
Absolutely stop the ship.
Captain,
what's going
we're
here?
losing them.
So they stop the ship, but they don't bother going back since you're just going to fly over.
Good luck.
Hey, how long does this last?
An hour, you're fine.
Yeah, an
Okay.
hour. And sorry, no, 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll be back.
What? Oh,
It's very
no.
different.
All
It
right, so
can
who
carry
else is
up
going
to
over?
the boat.
All right, so just the three of you? Or Pip can fly?
Lark got the ability to fly
Lark
as
too.
well.
Okay. So there's a flying bear with Lark on him flying through the air.
All right.
Fair.
Did you say fair or bear?
Bear.
Fair bear.
It's a bear fair.
It's bear fair.
Fair
All the
bear.
bears sell their wares.
Like chairs or stairs.
Mhm.
They
Do
get
they
lots
care?
of glares. But they mostly sell to people named Claire.
In wheelchairs.
And scene. All right. So you guys fly up to the cliff there. As you get close to these vines, they're a little intimidating. The sheet of vines is probably 40 feet tall from the base of the cliff where they start to grow down, and it's thick. You cannot see the end of it as you kind of fly up and over. The trees look a little different for almost about maybe 100 feet in a large kind of circular area that kind of gets cut off by the cliff a little bit. So it looks like it's a very thick area of these types of trees.
Are we going to take a sample? Is that the idea? Or free
she-
some people?
Well, Sheen was going to
Oh,
talk to them first, right?
I can
Okay.
try that, yeah.
I can make them grow. I cannot talk to them.
Please do not make them grow for now.
So Ocean, you go and fly close to them, since there's no place to stand, really. What do you do?
Kind of looking up at the trees and then at the vines, kind of looking between them. Hello, I'm just sort of wondering, are you catching these things to eat, or can you move at all?
We are hungry.
They're hungry.
Okay.
They can. Okay. And you eat creature.
Meat.
Okay, so they're the opposite of me. They eat meat.
I am made of meat. I do
You
not
don't
wish to be eaten.
Yeah, don't volunteer that.
Okay.
I am okay to go now.
Yeah. Can't stay very long. Got to get back to. But we just haven't seen anything like this. Okay, and then start kind of back.
Love flying.
As
in the
you're
bush.
doing this, you hear some sizable animal, maybe something akin to a boar or something, start squealing from a little bit deeper within this brush, and slowly the squeals kind of get muffled and then stop.
Is there a way to back away faster?
Yeah.
You've got a 60 fly
Uh,
speed. You can back away as fast as you want.
Go from 20 to 35 fly speed.
As you
Law-
guys
Law
are
of the Jungle Ocean.
Yeah, I know. I just I'm looking at a spell real quick.
okay.
Turn vegetarian. Sorry, turn carnivore should be the grammatically correct way to do it.
I mean, if I wanted to charm him, I've got advantage.
I'm not sure if that's a permanent lifestyle decision, though.
I think they're probably obviate carnivores. Obligate carnivores.
Obvious carnivores. They're very obvious.
Yes, they're opportunistic. They're obvious.
So if something were cut out from the vines, would it just fall into the ocean?
Right
Like,
here,
there's nothing
yes. But you can
beneath?
go
Okay.
around to the other sides where there's other things trapped and cut them out over ground.
I-
Do you
Go
wish
so that them-
to free some animals?
Some of them, yeah, I can probably do that.
All right.
And I don't have to get very close either, because I just learned some new things.
We've got about 8 minutes.
That's okay, I can only do this for a minute. And then I kind of go around to the side where they're trapped, but they wouldn't, like, hit the ocean if they
Mhm.
fell. The thing. I'm gonna stay 60 feet back, and I'm gonna cast Flaming Spear to try to burn some of the vines away.
Okay.
So we're gonna teach these how to cook. I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Burning Spear and kind of like move it to, burn the vines away from any moving creatures to try to free some of them.
All right. So you start to use the flaming sphere to kind of burn through some of the vines. As the vines break, several of the creatures drop to the ground and just start running off. Where the vines had been touching them, they were missing some fur and had some scarring, it seems. Some of them, however, as they drop to the ground, start to squeal in pain, as it appears that the vines have some sort of paralytic quality, and they didn't realize, other than being stuck, that they were being eaten. Part of them, including full skin, muscle, and bone, or bone is exposed where muscle and skin has been eaten away. And as they land, they start to feel all the pain that was being muted by the paralytic, and then they quickly die.
I would have helped them pass
Yeah,
on.
I figured.
If I yeah.
The vines start to shake and shimmer, kind of tighten in and pull back away from the flaming sphere.
Okay, we got some of them. That's good. We can go back now. I only want to do that once.
As you guys start to fly away, seems like everything is. I mean, you did a good deed. You saved a few. As you're flying up and back and start turning towards the ship, off in the distance, back several miles down the coast the way you came, you see a plume of smoke.
They have learned to create fire, it appears.
They didn't need to. You left it on the beach.
Goodbye, jungle.
No.
The jungle's a little too wet and it rains too much for it to be too bad, but something's on fire and it's big.
Okay. Well.
Well, just think about yourself like a lightning storm, and you can just justify that as like just a act of a godly person.
I've heard bad things about the campfire. That's bad.
Jungles are very resilient, so I've heard. Right, Pip?
As far as Pip is aware.
Yeah, I'm sure the Ferosh and the Chitin, they make fires all the time to cook.
I'm sure they burned down parts of the forest. Yeah.
It's all the Ferosh children with little magnifying glasses trying to burn bugs.
Magnifying
Like Pip is
glasses.
doing right now.
The
It appears-
Ferocious Fresnel lenses. Come on.
It appears you got some paint in Pip's eye.
Oh no, his eyes are just green like that. It was really convenient, right? Blends him real good.
Wow.
You start to you guys make your way back to the ship and land before your spell wears off. The captain and a couple of the spotters, the scouts in the crow's nest are using spyglasses to look back down the island towards this large plume of smoke.
We need to go
and
back.
She turns and looks at you all and says, "Is that something we need to handle?"
It's 4 hours away.
The wrong direction, yes.
What does it look like?
Fire. Well, there's smoke. And usually when there's smoke, there's fire.
It was on a beach.
I don't think it's on a beach anymore. I'm fine to move on if you are. I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Water wants to start it.
I think it's gonna be bad even if we go back. Like,
Yes, I wasn't sure if there was much you could do about that or not.
Not really, no. Most of my magic is geared towards setting things on fire, not putting it out.
Yeah, a lot of fire.
Put out small ones. I can also set really big ones, but I can put out small.
So
Most big fires are just a lot of small fires, but I understand. Let's move on.
not healthy.
And she gets the ship underway.
Did I
And
just
on that
change one of
note-
the hexes in the map?
There's just a
Almost.
jar.
It's just brown.
And on that note, we're going to go ahead and take our break. I know it's a little early. We might end a little early today. You guys are kind of zooming through these, and you're going to get to all three today. So, and then we'll have the
Better or
landing
worse.
and setting up the Feroche, the camp to start looking for the Feroche. So we'll have all that a little bit later. But we're going to go ahead and take our break because unfortunately, I got a phone call I've got to make, and a little bit of an emergency, but nothing bad. I'm just going to take care of it real quick. So thank you guys all. We'll be back in 20 minutes. See you at 3 o'clock PST or wherever you are. It's going to be 20 minutes from now. All right. Thank you guys.
Bye.
And we're back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Let me talk very quickly about our sponsors, starting with World Anvil, the most robust world building and campaign management software that exists on the internet today. How do I know? They have 200,000 users. That's how I know. 200,000 active users. They're incredible. Go take a look at worldanvil.com. It can't be beat. Almost everything is given away for free. You can use it just because they love to build their community and because their community supports them and allows them to offer most of their services for free. They do have some things that are behind what you might consider a paywall or a support system, but those things are usually very specific and are not necessary to build a world or write a novel, which is what the software was originally designed for. So you can just go take a look and enjoy every bit of it completely free. So enjoy that. Go take a look, worldanvil.com. You're welcome. Next, let's talk about Die Hard Dice. If you want to roll with the best, you roll with Die Hard Dice. Die Hard Dice is an amazing company that makes metal dice. They do some plastic dice as well, but mostly it's metal dice. They 3D design their own unique looks, in-house color tests to get, oh, Mike, I hate you. In-house color tests to get one and two-way color tests,
That's
such
called
as
the
the
Mythica
ones,
Spellbinder.
the Spellbinder series that Lark is holding up there. They have 4 different Spellbinder series now, I believe, that have all come out in the past month since we sponsored them. They didn't have anything like that when we started, and now they're coming out with all these amazing different colorways. They are
I've got to say, the red and gold, I need those.
If you would like to order your own Die Hard Dice, you can go to dieharddice.com, take a look at all the amazing dice, put a few in your cart, and when you're checking out, use the coupon code Countless Heroes. Why use the coupon code? 2 reasons. 1, you get 15% off. Why not? And 2, it shows our sponsors that you came from us and that it's our way of showing them how much we do for them. That's how they track it. That's how they know that we're a good deal for them, that they're happy to be with us. Although I'm sure they'd be happy with us anyway because we love them and they love us. So it's a good mutual thing. But yes, please do that so we can show ourselves and know that we're doing a good job. That's all that we want to know. We want to know we're doing a good job for our sponsors. Both of our sponsors are sponsoring our big meetup at WonderCon, which is on March 30th at 8 p.m. in the Hilton Hotel at Anaheim, right next to the convention center. Literally, it's pretty much the same building. It's just across a little courtyard. In the Carmel Room, 8 p.m. You can come over there. The first 50 people will get a free drink ticket as long as you're 21 or over and have a valid ID. And you'll get a free drink ticket for any drink of your choice. In addition, as I said, World Anvil is our event sponsor, and Die Hard Dice is our beverage sponsor. They sponsored all the juice and drinks and whatever else we're going to have there. I really don't know what's going to be there. I think it's tea, water, coffee, something else. Anyway, and of course we'll have sodas and things there as well. So you can come on down and check it out. Have fun with us. We have no idea what this event's going to be like, but we do have a Facebook link to an event if you'd like to go and at least say that you're coming or interested. Spread the word, share, tell your friends who might be in the area about us. You don't have to go to the convention to come. If you're in the area and you're not going to the convention, you can just come on down anyway and meet up with us at the Hilton there. All you'd have to do, I think, is pay for parking. But if you're going to the convention, it'll be fun. That's 8 p.m. on the Saturday, the 30th. Let's see. We're very proud to be part of the Nerdsmith network. We've been a part of it since the beginning. Actually, we haven't. We've been there since August, but some of us have been a part of it since the beginning. And almost like we were there when it was founded, from a hotel room with hotel internet. That was a very sad weekend.
That doesn't sound like it was.
No, it was not fun. It was not fun. Anyway, we launched in the middle of a business trip for Nerdsmith, and Kyle and Heather were the only 2 that were sitting at home with decent internet, and the rest of us were trying to help them, instruct them, and work with them to try to finish off the website. And it was a lot of fun, let me tell you, but it's a memory I'll never forget because it was all of us working together very hard to make this amazing thing happen, which we did. And now here we are over a year later. So we're very proud to be part of the Nerdsmith network with 50 different creators creating 20 different shows, over 1,000 hours of content since we started. So we're doing really well. I'm pretty happy. If you support this show in pretty much any way, Nerdsmith takes a small percentage of it, but the vast majority comes to us. The artist is the artist share, and we take all of that money, we pass it on to the Trevor Project. If you'd like to know more about the Trevor Project, you can go to trevorproject.org. I'm sure you'll be hearing more about them as we go on with this adventure and continue on. Last two little tiny announcements. This next Tuesday. No, not next Tuesday. The Tuesday after that. The Tuesday right before WonderCon will be the last Tuesday of this month. We'll be doing a Die Hard dice giveaway for a set of metal dice. You can get them right here. All you got to do is be here around, well, not this time, but during our break, during that night, and you can possibly win a set of metal Die Hard dice. So that's a great night to be around. And then you can, what else? I don't know what else. What's the other thing? Oh, then the following Tuesday, the first week of April will be our last Tuesday. We're streaming this show on this channel. Starting the following Tuesday, the 9th, we will be switching our Saturday night games to Shenanigans, which is a set cast of the directors and Mike and me DMing. It's set in the same world, Vale, but on the other continent. It's more of an arcane, industrial sort of world. And it's a lot of setting. It's a lot of fun. It's where the origins of the Birchfield came from. So we'll be learning more about the Birchfield a couple hundred years ago, and having a lot of fun with that. So it's a little bit goofier than this show, if you can believe it. But it also has a few serious notes as well, which is nice. So you can come in and enjoy that. This will go down to a 4-night a week, 4-day, 3 nights and 1 day afternoon a week show, and and that's okay. That's okay.
I just wanted to double check. I swear I heard you say Saturday game. So it's
we're losing Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Not Saturday.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I did say Saturday, but I was talking about. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. It's Tuesday. Tuesday the 9th is when this is happening. It'll be every Tuesday. So we're losing Tuesday game, not Saturday game. We will then be doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, and Saturday afternoon. That's the games we will be playing. For now. Eventually the show ends, and then things are going to change up a bit. Sure. Also, on that same Tuesday, we will be premiering in the afternoon Final Rites, which is going to it's an actual play with Angela in it. And it is really, really cool. It's 3 tieflings. There you go. It is 3 tieflings on a riverboat on the river Styx. And this riverboat, they kind of run things, and this riverboat is the neutral ground between heaven and hell. And so all sorts of hijinks and shenanigans happen there. So not shenanigans, that's later in the day, same day. So that's going to be an every other week show. And filling in the gaps every other week. On top of that, Angela and I will be doing Discover RPG World Anvil, where we spend half an hour to an hour world building inside of World Anvil and showing you how to use it and how much fun we have with it, and just being, relatively goofy and silly on Tuesdays. And then you'll have us Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which will be exciting. All right, so that's that. We are all done with that. All that good stuff. So you guys have gotten back on your ship, and you are heading out. You have one more crazy adventure today. You haven't wasted any time yet, so let us see what's going to happen. Who has not rolled on the jungle chart yet? Angela, please roll on the jungle chart yet.
I don't have the jungle chart yet. I just have a jungle chart. 44.
While we're waiting, I'd like to jump back to the advertisements for a second. Anyone going to WonderCon can potentially see me in a dog onesie that I just purchased while we were on break from Amazon. So
wait, what?
I still have to get you one of those Gashapon sticky hands so that you can throw your mage hand at people.
Yes, we'll be working on props. Mm-hmm.
I'll just wear blue surgical gloves and stand behind you. You can put your hands behind your back, and I'll just
2x2 hands of blue. Really, you're gonna do that?
Well, just 1 by 1. There's only me.
Stick your arms through his arms and just.
Yeah.
We're all green. Other than that, we'll just
Except for the blue glove.
yeah.
No, I'll just get these hands. They'll look like the bad guy in Smash Brothers, and they'll be blue. And I'll just put them on a little like
Sticks.
fishing line and hang them in front of him.
I don't know. I really like 2 sticky hands, like one in each hand.
It's like they're gonna get so gross so quickly. I don't want to be a vector for con crud. Thank you.
If they stick,
Fair.
well, you just throw them away every hour.
That's so many
What
quarters.
you doing?
Gotta find the right gashapon.
Yeah, all blue hands.
You can buy them online and buy it in bulk. Trust me.
No, I don't.
Oh, we can
want
give them out to
to.
everyone. Everyone gets mage hands.
No, I do not want to be a vector for con crud. We're not going to give people adhesive things.
Just
No, let's just lock people in a room together. 100 people in a room together for 2 hours. That's
We can
not a vector.
provide hand sanitizer. We should have
Put them
nerds-
on your little hand, your little sticky hand.
Gross. I think that's just gonna
How
Does
is
that
it
mean-
gross putting on the? Never.
Does that mean Finkel will learn Mage Hand finally?
Right.
Aww.
All right, so as the ship turns and you are now finally heading completely north, having reached the opposite side of the island, you have gone at this point about halfway around. There's a large clearing. You almost thought that this small inlet was actually a large inlet because of how deep it went in. There are rocks on 2 sides, and then the beach seems to give way to more beach and then the jungle. But the second part of this beach is very unique and different. There seems to be some sort of sandbar in between 2 bodies of water, but the second body of water is bright pink.
Ooh.
I'm not
That's
interested in that.
You can get some good dye, some paint dye from
Yeah,
there.
yeah. If it's like algae based, you could just dry it out and use it almost as a pigment in and of itself. Or it's red tide. I don't know.
What are people talking about?
It would be pink tide.
Pink tide. Over there.
There's a water where it's 2 different shades of grey.
Dogs can see some colors.
Mhm.
There
The
is a
gray.
there's a patch that is very unlike water.
It is not moving. It doesn't seem to be connected to the ocean. There's no waves or motion. It seems very still. It's high tide right now, so it seems like the waters never touch. The sandbar is fairly thick and tall, so that it's very unlikely that the 2 waters meet ever.
Neat.
Yeah, do we want
Okay.
to have a look?
Let us stop.
Despite the warnings, this does feel fairly innocuous.
Yeah.
I want to see the pink. I want to see what happens. I want to see if I can.
I
catch
don't like
something
that
to-
look on the god face.
We can't see the god.
Stop
face.
looking at the face of God.
It's true. Your face will melt off.
It's pretty though.
There's that. All right. So you guys stop the ship. She doesn't seem to see any danger. There's no worry about the rocks. She gets fairly close, about 100 feet away from the shore here. So it only takes you a couple of minutes to get across on the longboat. You go straight for the sandbar, or do you kind of go off to one of the sides?
I'm gonna.
Sandbar,
Is
sandbar
straight-
seems safer.
Am I understanding correctly that the pink is sort of a circular lake, that there's a larger part of the
Sounds
island?
circular.
Sure. There's a larger part of the island on the other side of it from us.
Correct. So it's like it's almost like there's an inlet that goes up into this large beach, and the beach goes very deep with 2 kind of cliffs on the sides down more to a point, and then it opens into the jungle at the end. Except that the sandy area has kind of this pool of pinkish water in the center.
So in order to get through by water, you'd have to go through the pink.
No, it's
No,
after.
It's after the sandbar. You have to walk on the sandbar and drag your boat over to put the boat into this extra pool of water. It is a separate pool of water. The funny thing also is it doesn't seem like it reflects the light the same as water does. It feels like it's more not like it doesn't have a sheen to it.
Is it sort of see-through at all, or is it more
No,
murky?
not at all.
Okay.
So as you guys get to the sandbar and come over it, other than kind of the shape, it doesn't look like water at all. It is. It looks like it's got texture to it. It almost looks like little. Well, it looks like just millions of very, very small, tiny little cotton puffs.
GB goes and tries to smell some of it.
How close do you get to smell it?
A square.
You're
About 5 feet.
You get within 5 feet, and you're just like from 5 feet away, like.
Got a pretty good
Or you
nose.
like you put your nose right up next.
Yeah, arms are a human arms reach.
Sure.
away.
Okay. Yeah. So you start sniffing at it from a little bit of a distance, and the one thing that kind of stands out, besides the salt air around you, it smells a little sweet.
I think this is cotton candy.
Lark throws a rock further away than where GB is into the pool.
As the rock hits these little puffs, they kind of just puff out and kind of land a little denser than you had originally anticipated, and some of them stick together and things. You hit water underneath, and water ripples start to go underneath. You see all of these things kind of floating and bobbing. You would think that this pink puff is about an inch, maybe an inch and a half thick, floating on top of the water.
Okay.
Can Finku touch some of the puffs?
Yeah, you can touch them. It kind of feels like almost like cotton candy, like kind of a almost any liquid in your hand makes it a little bit sticky, which is weird because you'd think the water would be making it sticky, but or dissolving it, but it seems to be floating on top of it, and you can squish them and make them flat and squish them together, and they kind of become more of a solid piece.
I just got this image in my head of Finku as one of those little raccoons that you saw trying to eat the cotton candy and wash it. It's just like, where'd it go?
Where'd it go?
That's really.
Finku is raccoon, yes.
GB, put some in one of your little jars with the.
Sill's already got one out. I got it.
Gonna use
okay.
detect magic after everyone already stuck their hands to it.
Oh,
Arcane
no,
arcane
Sill's
hand
got a jar.
pulls a puff of thing out and
Finku
tries
stuck
to
his
put it
hand
in
in
the jar.
it.
Invention involves risk.
Yes, okay. I'm gonna use detect magic. Stand behind the two wizards and cast detect magic.
I didn't prepare that spell. I could switch over, but it's not worth it.
My thing says I'm a rogue.
Sorry about that. That was part of that thing from earlier. That may happen a couple more times. I apologize.
It's okay.
So
We're having fun.
it's all right. So somebody's casting detect magic. There is no magic on this. This is a natural occurrence.
Okay,
It seems. Or at
GB
least there's no leftover rhythm.
GB picks up some of it and puts it in Sill's open container.
Okay.
It's the swear jar. No. it's an actual jar.
Finku's just really tempted to try and taste it. But I don't know.
Why do we jump to eating everything?
Because it smells like sweets.
Oh, yeah.
If you are diseased or poisoned, I will cure it.
Okay.
Hey, Sill. Oh, Olga.
I don't know if you've ever had cotton candy, Russ. I suppose you probably can't have that over
Candy
there.
floss?
Candy floss.
We do.
Oh,
but it's
really?
probably
You're allowed to
not.
sell that over there? Is it still made out of sugar? I'm actually genuinely curious.
We can sell it.
You can
at
sell it,
some
but only by the
carnivals.
ounce.
Yeah,
Okay.
like carnivals and stuff. Like, you can't really buy it pre-packaged.
You can't buy it anywhere else. Well, you
Yeah,
can't
but-
really buy good versions of it prepackaged here either. But
Yeah, but
so
no,
you can buy
like
it- can you?
we have cotton candy makers. Like we just
Okay.
throw sugar into it, and then we
Yeah,
do the thing.
okay,
then we-
good. All right. That's shocking to me. I actually want to talk
don't-
more about that later.
I don't particularly like it. But
Anyway, that's what it very much tastes like cotton.
it's
Kind of unflavored cotton candy. It's just sort of sweet.
So
I
it is
have
pretty.
sugar stuck to the roof of my mouth.
And it dissolves in your mouth fairly quickly, and then it's just kind of sugary taste.
I just got the residue stuck to my mouth now. That was a mistake. Does anyone have any water?
Yes.
Yes.
My pitcher
Okay.
of endless water that I forgot when the fire was on.
Oh no!
Yeah, it just tastes like sugar. Like sugar.
Did it attack you?
It attacked my taste buds.
Why do I feel like this might have something to do with either the Fae or maybe a really high-powered child?
No, the really powerful child at home, so this is
I was
probably
gonna
fine.
say, don't
Where's your kid?
At home.
Kid, not a kid.
We
Yeah.
bemfed
You
him
should know
back.
that.
Well, yeah, we went out of the fog and the
Okay.
took him then.
GB, can you help me gather some sticks?
Sure.
I have an idea.
I still have one from the fire. I thought it was nice. Here. Oh. Wow. It was a heavy log. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It is not heavy.
Well,
You are-
try having an 8.
That's gonna be my answer to anyone who calls me out on my bullshit anymore. Try having an 8. What?
Lark takes the stick and he starts rolling connecting some of the cotton candy onto the stick, confused stick.
All right, it sticks a little bit, but without anything to kind of help it, it doesn't really stick to itself unless you kind of moisten it or you smush it together.
So in my paint making materials, my kit, my accoutrement to make paint, would it be possible for me to have any sort of solvents or anything to dissolve things or to treat materials to make pure essences of things to then dry into pigment? The answer is yes, there are things like that in pigment making kits, but I just wanted to make sure that
Well, I
was
just don't know
reasonable
what you're
to
trying
you.
to do
See if I can dissolve some of the cotton candy in that jar I put it in.
to what end?
To see if it does anything interesting. Sometimes lake pigments can turn weird colors when you add things to them.
Okay. As you're playing around with it, I mean, it's very possible to turn some interesting colors, but I have no frame of reference for what you're talking about.
That's
So I'm sure that turns into some interesting colors for you.
Ooh.
I'm curious. I think he's gonna pluck another bit out, and then just kind of let go of it, and as it's falling, just cast firebolt at it.
Okay.
Curious.
Does that light things on fire or just do damage to it?
Let me check.
I think you cut out a little bit.
I didn't catch that.
It does. I think
He's
it does
checking.
light things.
I was checking. Look.
I mean, the initial damage is probably going to be enough to completely disintegrate it, but if not, then we'll see if it's.
Actually, I don't have firebolt with this character. That's nice.
Oh, okay.
But I have shock and grasp, which would do the very same thing. What does that do?
In a 15-foot cone.
No, shock and grasp is just touch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you just hold it in your hand and kind of burn it.
Yeah.
Okay. It burns really well, very quickly.
Okay.
Oh no more fire.
Be sure to put that out.
It's out. It's gone.
It's more lightning than fire. I don't have that cantrip yet.
Pip, could you cook with this? Should we take a lot back? More than just a vial?
Pip is uncomfortable with this after watching Earl explode into a cloud of mushroom spores.
Yeah.
But he wasn't pink.
This is true, but Pip will pass.
All right.
Thank you for thinking of Pip's recipe, but
Should I go underneath and try to find out if there's something that's making it from below?
do not drink the water.
Well, what if I was a thing that could drink water?
That's fine then.
You are currently a thing that can drink water.
Oh, I mean with my lungs. I didn't say that right.
Oh, breathe water.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh,
I will communicate with you telepathically when you're under the water. Just let me know if you're in danger.
Okay, I gotta figure out what kind of thing I'm gonna be.
It has to have an intelligence of at least 1.
I think most animals do.
I don't think anything has intelligence less of 1.
maybe some algae. Or those slimes that turn into mushrooms, that turn back into slimes, that turn back into mushrooms. It is a plant.
Okay. I think I saw a small thing once that was like had little pincers on it. You guys eat it sometimes. It's crab, right? Okay, I'm gonna make myself a really big one of those.
A dire crab?
Does that sound okay?
I'm getting Dark Souls flashbacks.
Okay, so GB pulls out a little cocoon and a little
Mhm.
glass vial from his component pouch. Think crabby thoughts. And he turns into a hulking crab.
Oh my god.
Think of Patty.
Aren't those large?
They're huge.
Okay.
Ah! Is there room on the sandbar for all of us to be there?
Okay. I'm gonna go see what's underneath, and GB will scuttle sideways into the pool.
You start scuttling in, and it's about 8 inches deep, so you are not going anywhere. It's maybe 10 inches deep.
Next
So
time,
you
I
are
really
like-
should stick my flamberge into the water to see how deep it is.
GB, give me a perception check.
Okay. That's a 3. I have blind sight, but I'm a giant crab,
Into sight.
and I'm like flailing around in the cotton candy.
You don't notice anything. Yeah. So you're kicking the cotton candy around and stuff, and the ripples are kind of going through everything, and then you kind of scuttle back up onto land.
At least you did not drown.
Oh, yeah. Very good job on not drowning.
Some of you, most of you with good perception, and you don't know if this is something to do with the way crabs are or not, but where GB's legs had been in the water, they are not wet.
Can Tinku
Nice.
reach in and sort of put his hand into the water See how that feels.
Yeah, it feels not. It kind of feels lukewarm, which you kind of expect knowing it's only about 8 inches deep. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, I rolled an 11, so 23.
It feels dense. It feels thick. It doesn't feel like water.
Does it feel like anything I've come across before?
Not in this quantity, no.
Hmm.
It's almost hard to move your hand through it.
Okay.
Like it gives more resist. You know how when you have walk on water cast on you, it's kind of hard to push your hand into the water. It's like that, but not as bad.
It's hydrophobic water.
Finku, can you run really fast and try to walk across it?
Yes. Finku will. Well, first, what Finku's going to do is he's going to try and squeeze like the water in his hand and pull and try and actually hold it like it's solid.
Okay. As you squeeze and pull up, you feel it completely, whatever's underneath this pink, run off of your hand as if nothing was going on. But the little bits that are still in your hand as you pull up start to drip through and around. It's liquid silver.
Huh.
Which you have seen small amounts of. Although this is a little bit of a different shade than anything you've ever seen. But it is some sort of liquid metal.
I'm sure the GB has seen this shade of silver.
Probably. He only has 3.
Okay, is Finku sure it's not mercury?
It's not
It's
burning
definitely
him.
not mercury.
It's just
No.
liquid.
Oh,
Okay.
wow, that's shiny.
It's silver. But I'm still going to do that thing and run across it.
Still stop eating cotton candy. It's like I put it on my lemon. It's amazing.
Yeah, Finku's going to
Sorry, what?
Finku's just going to try running across it. See how that goes.
All right, so you can sort of run across. It's not that deep, but as your legs kind of push through the water, the liquid, it sprays up this liquid metal instead of water. You see the silver bits just kind of go through, and it's very difficult. It's heavy, it's dense. It's like you're only running through 8 inches of it, but it feels like you're up to your hip in it, and that's how more difficult it is to run through.
Do you need any help, Finko?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Has
Just,
it been 10 minutes since I
Yeah.
used to do detect magic? Okay, I'm gonna say because I can't do it anymore.
That's fine.
A giant claw starts poking at Sill's bag where the glass vials are.
Oh, you mean put the silver in it? Ow, ow, ow. Okay, fine. Here.
crab up, crab down. Crab up, crab down.
Hold on. Pip, come here.
Yeah.
And she takes out a jar that's like half full of green and just sprays it, like just sort of like empties it out on his back, just like, okay, there, okay. And she like streaks it through his hair, like trying to make sure it's okay. Okay.
You rinse it in the seawater and sand.
Yeah, she'll go to the other side of the sandbar and like.
Where did Pip go?
Oh wait, no, Pip, hold on. She gets her decanter of endless water and just rinses it till it's clean.
Okay.
I keep forgetting. I really need to make a post-it or something.
Does that container have a lid on it? People
It's
assume
got a
it
seal
does.
so that the
Put-
paint doesn't dry.
Put some of the pink clumpy things into the jar with it.
Oh, with
If-
it? Okay.
Because that's how we found it, right?
Okay.
So maybe that's how we need to store it.
Okay, so Sill's gonna walk up to the water and dunk the jar into deep enough that she might access some of the silver and pull it up and see if she can gather some of the silver with some of the pink or some of the cotton candy stuff as well. Like take a little core
Yeah.
sample.
You get both.
It's like the prettiest terrarium ever.
Have we tried putting metal into the pool?
I have my sledgehammer. Because she never disengaged.
No, like my old one. It's not magic or anything. It's just the old one.
Yeah, try dunking the metal into the.
Bonk. She'll put hammer down.
I did not want to be in the front row.
Okay.
So she wants to push her old mundane sledgehammer into the water and pull it out and see if...
Completely clean.
Cool. No, it doesn't seem to have any bad effects.
No, Pip is wondering if it might have some sort of, like you soak mushroom in vinegar and the marinade, and it, see if
okay.
it
So
does
she'll
something to the metal.
shove it deeper in the water and like twist it around and stuff, and then just sort of like leave it there for a little while.
How long do I keep it in?
Pip does not know what this is, so
Okay. It's
Pip does
only
not know.
8 inches, so she'll slowly let go of the sledgehammer top. Like
stays there.
Okay.
You can do it for a
Um,
while and see what happens.
As you slowly let go, your sledgehammer starts to float and fall over.
Oh, no.
She'll try to reach for it.
Pip wants to save more of this liquid metal. It seems special somehow.
The boat is not very far. We could go get some buckets. Pip, could you fly over?
Yes, Pip can fly over.
There are some mop buckets.
Pip will fly back to the boat, and we'll see how many buckets he might be able to obtain. Probably a minimum of 4, if possible.
You can have 30 buckets if you want them.
Ooh.
All right. Pip will grab a piece of rope and attach a bunch of the bucket handles through the rope, and so make like a giant ring of buckets, and we'll like kind of put it across his shoulder and then fly back to.
As you're doing this, the captain comes over. What are you doing?
There is a like a pool that has these pink cotton candy balls, and there is a metal, a very shiny metal that is under the cotton candy balls, and other metal things float on it, and it does not seem wet, and it does not seem to do anything to other metal things. So we want to try to store some of it to see if it is useful for something else.
So you're taking buckets.
What would you recommend that Pip takes?
Specimen jars.
Yes, Sil has that covered.
Then why do you need buckets?
For more
How much are you looking to bring over, Pip?
less than I was preparing to take over
Pip.
before you came and talked.
Pip, this is a Birchfield. She just starts walking away. You follow her? She takes you down and into this large room that she took Saldana into the other day, which has a huge alchemical lab on one side, probably the largest you've ever seen in one spot outside of Pinball's house. Over to the right, there are several of these large empty jars and vessels. She walks over to a very strange looking ceramic cask, which has a lid that snaps shut and rubber seals around it. It looks like it hold about 10 gallons. Will this be enough?
Sure.
That's what they're for. There's several of them there. She slides one over to you. It's very heavy. Can you carry it?
With the 18 strength. Yes, Peep is confident that he can carry it.
Good. You can always float it along the way as well.
It floats.
Yes, of course they float.
Would the wonders never cease? Okay, thank you. Peep is sorry he did not think to mention to the captain that there may be things that we need to store because the captain is a scientist and therefore wants to do this type of thing. Thank you. Peep will be right back with...
Good luck.
Peep does not think he will need luck for its donkey.
It's Lemon Island, and it's tradition.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. And she heads off. Yes.
While we're waiting for Pip to get back, Syl's tried to get some of the liquid metal on her fingers. You said it like just beaded off Finku's hand.
Yeah, it will not stick to you.
Will it stick to paper?
No, doesn't stick to anything really.
She'll put a couple drops on her paper and just start moving her book around.
Sure.
Like, and then she'll draw a little maze and try to get it to the maze, like just to kill time.
All right. I like that little maze. You're like, ooh.
At minimum, this would make great kids' toys. We just need like glass on top of it.
Oh, I remember making one of those in school. Didn't work out too great.
Well, you didn't have this stuff. You should have gone to school at Lemon Island.
I don't think that's a good idea. Did you see the big snout and the big claw? No, I'm very little already.
Pip
It was
turned
just
out
lovely.
great.
Pip is a strong person. I
So
am
Pip
not.
comes back over with this gigantic cask.
Wow, you weren't kidding, Finku. He is strong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That's better than a
Yes.
bucket.
It's better than 30 buckets. So Pip will... Pip's gonna dunk the... narrating in the third person. It's more meta than I want to be. Pip takes the rubber stopper cap off of the cask and will dunk the cask into the metal liquid and try to fill it up.
Are you trying to get 0 of the pink balls or a lot of the pink balls, or you don't care?
Because of his early recommendation to Sil, he's trying to get a few of them to be at least on
Okay.
the very top.
Something representative
So-
of the current ratio
Yeah.
in the water.
So you can only go about 8 inches into it, so you're going to have to eventually start scooping with something else. But using a bucket or one of the jars or other thing, you eventually get it full with, well, almost full with maybe an inch or 2 of the pink stuff on top.
Okay. Pip is going to fly back now and give... Yes.
Do you need help? It's probably heavier now than it was earlier.
Pip tries to lift it and test it out.
It is
Oh,
it is
that's great.
extremely heavy.
GB's huge right now. You could probably hold it.
Yeah.
Is there like a netting or something to carry it once it has stuff in it?
Like
A
the
wine, like a beer.
the carboy.
Yeah,
the
like a
carboy
cardboard
carrier.
net. Yeah.
We could float it in the water, and then the ship has that crane thingy that picks things up.
Yes, she did say that they float, but it is very dense now, so... GB, can you be gentle? Gentle. Good.
We're just gonna yes and the carboy carrier.
Gentle giant.
I have a swim speed. I'm okay. So yes, GB will crab
it's-
walk.
It is a little over half a ton. It's about 1,200 pounds.
With buoyancy helping, would a huge beast be able to carry it if its strength was 19? Just swimming it back to the ship.
Unfortunately, even though it is designed to float with stuff inside of it, this will outweigh it. So just getting to the water is going to be tough, but 1,200 pounds is a lot.
we can help. Oshin and I can both together. We could just the two of us could push that.
You can carry
Yeah.
and push, sure, but swimming with something like that is much different. An option, you could tie it off and then pull it up to the ship once you get to the ship. There are tie down points on this barrel designed for rope.
We could have the captain move closer with the wench thingy.
Logan, I don't know how flying works in this, but would 5 people flying be able to carry it? Actually, sorry, 6 people, because Pip can already fly.
Probably. Having a fly speed or having a swim speed allows you to do those things, or climb speed, allows you to do those things with your full normal strength. So if you could carry it or drag it as part of your normal strength, once you have a fly speed, theoretically, my understanding is you can do it with that as well.
Would enlarge reduce help with this? Or do we want to reduce it and then potentially cause a problem?
I want to be bigger.
We can carry it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
GB
pretty sure.
bamps back to being GB.
Okay. Oh, okay. What if I made everyone fly, and Finku makes one of the really strong people really, really big? We could try it that way, right?
Sil wants to be huge. I want to see Sil turn into a giant woman.
Someone hold my hat. Or does the hat get big too?
It
I
goes
hope
with
your
it.
clothes get bigger when you cast that
I
spell.
don't know.
believe-
This was knitted with care. I didn't want it to tear.
I think magic accounts for that. I think.
That's good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I trust you, Fink.
Oh, good.
We do the thing.
You get it back. So you guys eventually get it back. The thing is, though, it along with all of you in the longboat would not work. It's a little too much for that. So somebody will have to fly it over, which is fine. But like I said, if you have somebody that has a strength of 20, I think you can push, pull, drag it at that point. 21. Is it within your heavy or just push, pull, drag? Because it's your strength times 15, so 21 times 15 is what?
I have
And Goliaths have.
Yeah, he probably has even more. than
Goliath
that.
and Furbolg
can
don't count as
fly-
large.
yeah.
hold
for-
anything a larger
Yeah.
creature too.
Right. So 21 times
doubled.
30 is normal, heavy, and then you guys get 50% more or double.
My
Double.
push pull drag. I have a 16 strength. Mine is a 960. So Lark's is even more than
That-
that.
Push, pull. Well, we're talking not push, pull,
The-
drag, but
The
for heavy
lifting it. Yeah,
lifting.
Lifting is 30 times.
my lifting is 480. So Lark's and I have a strength of 16. So
But at a
Lark's is
21, that puts
high.
it at 630. Doubling that puts it at 1260. You're fine for your heavy. So yes, you can carry it barely, but you can carry it as part of your fly. All right. So you get it back to the ship, and after seeing how heavy it is, the captain requires that you stow it, and she'd like it divided up into several smaller containers, which she provides you, 5 of them. But then also says she wants it stowed very carefully strapped down so it doesn't fly around if something happens.
Are you taking responsibility for it now, Captain?
I don't take responsibility for anything that you guys bring aboard.
Oh. Okay. When it attacks, I would like not to be blamed for it.
I don't blame you for anything that attacks our ship. I would have brought it on board as well.
It still gets to be huge for having it.
I will, however, blame Mr. Earl for the mess that has to be cleaned.
Ew.
Pip will use his experience as a longshoreman to assist in tying down the containers.
Okay. Yeah, you get him strapped down and you do great. Pip is like a master. Gets them stowed very well. Gets it divided, and you got the. So just to be clear, about every ounce of this material weighs about a pound, if I remember correctly. So it is a little less than a pound, but yeah, it's very, very heavy. So a one of the small little water bottles that you can get, the little half-size water bottles, weighs as much as a gallon of, to give real-world kind of weight comparison.
Oh boy. That makes my 8 strength tremble.
Me too, buddy.
So you're back on the ship.
Are we done here? It's right. Oh,
Don't
We
look like
survived.
anything else.
What was making that stuff? Does anyone want to go into the area and try to find out?
I'm
With
curious
our
to know.
With our luck, it is probably awful.
It's probably a monster. Yeah.
No, Pip means that it's probably excrement.
Oh.
Awful, like
It's
like
the it's the
crystal-
byproduct of something. Okay.
furniture. Yeah, it's awful. Like a lot of things inside there. Like.
Yes.
Well, that seemed like those seem like perfectly natural things. You guys just have to have a thicker constitution.
I'm not going to eat any of it.
Me neither.
It's okay. Think you ate enough for all of us.
Yeah,
I
bring
ate-
some, buddy.
I ate the cotton candy. I didn't eat the liquid silver.
How many fingers?
7.
You keep changing it.
How many? How many fingers?
That's rude. That's how many fingers.
Okay, he's fine.
And we do it like this from where I'm from.
That's 2. She had 1. I think there's something wrong.
No, this is just how we do it.
He responds with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with we have the specimen, so that's all secured and everything. I don't mind wandering back over. If
Yeah, we can-
Captain doesn't mind us wandering.
Yeah, can we maybe go sort of deeper and try to find out? Not down,
Ooh.
like that way.
Sure, just go along the sandbar a little more and maybe swim on the other side. See what's going on.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Sounds interesting.
Back to the boat.
All right, so you guys go back. to the
Batman.
boat.
Sorry.
So you guys start to just kind of explore this area, explore the forest around it. Is that the idea? All right. Eventually, you find another one of these pools, and then another. These two are a little smaller; they're more inland, and you find several of them: small, medium, large. You're not sure where the origin is. As you're kind of looking at them, though, they all seem to be at the same sort of level topographically, which is kind of interesting. And then you find one that is small, but all the edges of it are completely black. And it seems to be moving. As you get closer, you see there's dozens, well, thousands of little tiny insects, almost look like ants, but sort of roundish, nibbling away at this material. And they don't seem to be bothered once they get to the silver, because they just walk right on top of it, basically.
We should capture one of those two.
So are they eating the little the sugar things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood.
So maybe the sugar cotton candy grows, and then the insects come by and do something in their bellies to poop out metal?
We should take some back to the boat to find out, for research purposes.
Am I gonna poop metal? Oh no.
Yes.
We should
Science
take
says
thinking.
yes.
Yes. So do you have any more of your little jars?
Yeah, I've got jars. I probably have some empty ones, but the green was just on the top of the bag. Hold on.
Oh, if you don't have empty ones, here. There you
I
go.
always have to be prepared to make new paint, so I got empty ones.
Oh, okay.
She'll pull a few jars out. She probably got a handful of them, especially since she has a bag of holding now.
Right.
Probably grabbed a couple more.
Sure. All right. So you're trying to collect some of these little insects.
Yeah, it's got a little
Yeah.
flappy jar. It's like one of those
Yeah.
little little clip jars. So you gotta sort of like scoop it up and then
Yeah, little-
slam the jar down.
Little flappy jars. You throw them up in the air and then you have to avoid buildings by spamming your spacebar. Got it.
Yeah.
So you collect a bunch of these bugs along with some of the little pink fuzzies for them to eat. And they just happily seem to eat inside. They're not happy to be picked up where you had to cut through some of the other bugs. And as you're looking around, you notice that at the edge of these little black bugs, whatever they are, these kind of ant-like creatures, there are other little insects and invertebrates that are starting to come in, like little mealworms and things are coming up out of the ground and out of the brushwork to eat these bugs.
Circle of life, man.
We should get some of those too.
Okay, so you
Let's
you
take
ever
the
heard...
entire island back to the ship.
I'm not sure we can take a full longitudinal sample of the ecosystem.
It is bugs all the way down. It's fine.
I mean,
They're eventually going to get bigger
yeah, and
and
bipedal.
bigger, and then kite in size, and then even bigger.
Well, sure.
All the way up.
But still will like scrape a couple of the next tier of bugs.
Now
Oh,
some
no,
of the
so
dirt.
you have to put those in the other ones. So that,
Different jar.
yeah.
Different
Okay,
jar.
good.
Yeah, different jar.
Sorry,
Can't
Pam.
mix your colors if you don't intend to. I know. When he mentions dirt, Syl just looks at him and hands him a jar.
Yes, thank you. Pip is good at this part.
So you collect some of them as well.
Yep, and some dirt, as Pip requested. Okay, so yeah, we get some samples of kind of what's going on, and somebody make some notes about what they're doing and how. Or actually, here, and she'll paint a 1 and a 2 and a 3, so you see the order in which they're eating each other.
I've got a
Starts with
book.
this one.
I got a different book. It's not the term transcription. This one was just for me.
Sure.
Write all this down.
Cool. Mick. Very good notes for the captain.
Okay. Anything else? That seems to be what you observe. On your way back through, you see that one of these other pools at this point seems to have attracted a few insects as well. These little black ground ants. Again, ants is the wrong term. They look more like ticks, but they're tinier, more like deer ticks, like little tiny black deer ticks. But they swarm like ants, and they are starting to eat at the edge of one of these pools.
Do they look like glass ticks?
No, not at all.
Okay,
Glass ticks are very different.
just making sure.
Glass ticks, are more of a. Well, they have glass ticks over by where Pip is as well. So yeah, that's probably universal across the island.
Pip, when we get back to the ship, you should check your fur for these creatures. They look like ticks.
Pip checks his fur obsessively since coming to the island. So, yes,
Should I be doing that?
yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, you've been being groomed a lot, GB. Every time we end a session, people are like, "I check on GB."
Oh, I thought they were just being nice. Oh, thank you guys.
Well, they are.
You can just eat them.
My friends?
No, the ticks. The
Oh.
bugs.
No.
No.
All right.
Pip would like to stay for a little bit and just observe what happens as the various cycles of consumption start occurring, because we didn't stay long enough to see past the smaller insects. So
Well, so you would probably be better to go back to the first pool, which is about a few hundred feet away. As this pool, you're watching it for a while, and it's To get to the stage the other one is, it's taking a very long time. You would guess it would take hours before these bugs start to consume all the way around it and starts attracting the other insects. So if you go back to the other one and continue to watch, again, it's only a couple hundred feet away, but that is a 10-minute walk in the jungle. But as you get over there, you see that larger and larger creatures are starting to be attracted. There's a couple of snakes and some larger bugs and insects, large beetles and things that are starting to come through and eat the medium-sized insects and some of the smaller ones. But it's almost like a microcosm of evolution and the food chain specifically.
Okay, Pip has had enough. Pip does not want to get to the place where the large bird or whatever comes and grabs him and takes him back to eats him whole. No. Pip does not want this.
Okay.
We take our scientifically collected samples back to the ship and feel accomplished because we have something to show for our adventure. I'm speaking for myself, at least.
We did science.
I feel like we could write whole books about just, sitting down and just watching what happens in like 10 feet of this place. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And you can write whole books about, eating the various things that are on the island as well.
A book on what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. Don't eat the crystals, but do eat the cotton candy.
Don't eat the silver because you're gonna poop out silver.
We don't know this yet.
Might poop out pink.
I will find out in approximately 4 hours.
All right. It's actually nature's laxative, so it's going to be a lot faster.
Oh,
no.
no.
So you guys continue and you do some research. You spend a few hours there just kind of watching and learning, and that's about it. Unless you wait longer and see the next level of creature that starts to come.
Oh, thank you.
So then you start making your way back to the ship. Excellent. Anything you're doing after you get on the ship?
Take the samples to the lab and give them a whole verbal rundown of what we saw, and yeah.
Take the cheese to sick bay.
Yes. Make a metaphor to better understand what's happening.
Okay. So the few people involved there start to take some notes here. Yeah, there you go. So you guys start heading on your way again. A couple of hours later, Pip, you start to recognize the landscape. You start to see cliffs that you've stood on. The trees are a little different here, like they are in every part of the jungle. You have been in this part of the jungle. You have seen these things, and Zeknar Feddles is out on deck with you with a spyglass and starts pointing out different monuments, rocks jutting up into the jungle and things that you are familiar with.
Sil, Pip is vibrating.
I've never seen his tail wag.
Is this a new dance?
The happy dance.
I think it's
Looks like the pee-pee dance.
Pip is making a noise that you've also not heard.
Aww.
He's duking, yeah.
Oh,
He's duking? What?
duking.
Duking. It's a
To duke.
Yeah. It's an actual noise that ferrets make
Okay.
when they're.
Someone will
when
have to
they're
clip that
excited
for
or-
me because I have no idea.
I'll find it. Hold on.
I just thought it was more like that Happy Penguins.
It's basically a ferret version of Happy Penguin,
Oh, okay, cool.
but it's more of a chirrup.
After two more hours of this, Zeknar never leaves the deck. You find the place where Zeknar and has guided you to stop. A large beach that looks relatively untouched. It's got a nice high walls on every side. It goes into more of the dirt of the land, so there's a nice solid place to put a camp. The rocks seem to come together and form almost like a V at the end where you could easily walk over, but it also keeps you fairly protected. There's only one way to get here other than coming over and jumping off a large cliff. Plenty of space for a large encampment. Even a small village could fit here very well. The captain gets as close as possible. Still about only 250, 300 feet away. They drop anchor, and everyone starts loading the longboats. For the next several hours, the crew starts moving over all the supplies to set up camp, and they start setting up base camp 1.
Locke's gonna offer to help whatever he can.
From here, Pip, Zeknar will lead excursions into the woods, into the jungle, to try to find the Farosh tribes. Several of the Farosh tribes, I believe, are nomadic, but several are not. Is that what I remember, Kyle? Is it's 50-50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the larger ones, usually containing older populations, if they are like past their hunting days, they'll settle in the larger settlements, but the hunters are all nomadic.
Got it. Yeah, so there's that. So the question is just finding one, but for the most part, I believe it's all like one large tribe. They deal with each other and trade and stuff, right? Is that what I remember correctly?
Yeah, the tribes are the smaller units, and then there's the clans, which are the larger units, and then there's the entire nation.
The point is, once you find one group, you'll be able to be directed if they trust you to others. Perfect. And that's the goal. That is what you're here to do.
Pip, we should remove the green from you before we go see them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you won't be seeing them today. Today, the entire day, the rest of the day, and almost to the night is going to be taken up with just setting up these camps.
But Syl and GB can as well. Syl completely offers herself at Pip's disposal for any grooming that he might need before making himself presentable to other Farosh. So it involves getting the paint off and rolling around in a dust bath for a little while or something. Happy to assist.
Should we put a crown on you, Pip? Are you like a leader amongst your people?
You are a voyager.
No,
Yes.
Pip was...
Any flowers or anything? Do you wear anything?
Whatever is convenient and helps in hunting, but no, Pip is no one's better.
I disagree.
But your name's not gonna buy you anything when we try to meet people. It's not a currency. Understood.
Pip is only special off of Lamina Island. Pip is just Farosh on Lamina Island.
You're a Farosh who's seen the outside world quite a bit. That makes you unique.
Yes, unique. Yes, this is a good...
You just hear Zeknar look over. It makes us the fish that were pulled out of the bowl.
Pip left the bowl willingly, but it's...
So you're the stupid fish that jumped out of the bowl. He kind of
And
grins at you.
learned how to breathe, and learned how to
You grew
make
legs.
other
and
fish into... This metaphor is... No.
Oh,
And
you became a
someone picks you
cannibal
up and
mutant
puts you
fish.
back in the bowl.
This metaphor is involved.
Yes, GB?
And while we're in base camp, at least for today, GB sets up a giant 10 by 5 portal for his friends to go into. And when we go into the portal, it's a giant mansion that he set up for all his friends. So we all have a place to sleep that's not a tent.
Not to make homework, but Sill's very uneasy about portals on Lamina Island, since we were specifically told any kind of teleportation could get wonky. And if that's another thing, like, she's been very strategically, like, checking her bag of holding every so often to make sure it still works.
Well, I don't know. It should just be an extra dimensional space, just like your bag of holding. So if that works, this should work.
I will
For
jump
now.
in first.
Oh no, I don't let you. No.
Oh, okay.
You're
Where's the
not
slide?
welcome.
I mean, your room does have a slide in it, but it's into the bed, not into the. They all do that though.
They're all ladders up that you have to slide to get into the bed.
Well, it's an option. It's not mandatory. So does the extra dimensional space of the mansion work?
Yeah, Logan, is that an
Yes,
okay?
it works
thing?
fine.
Oh, good. Okay. Well,
This
then
time.
that's where we sleep,
Oh god.
if anyone wants to.
How long does that last?
24 hours.
And anyone still inside when it ends is pushed out.
Softly.
So, GB,
Not
we should...
unlike leaving the womb.
Hold on.
Before GB put the portal up, Syl wanted to put a tent up and have him cast the portal inside the tent so it just looks like it's a clown tent. 16 people walking.
Fucking hell.
Can I wait until
See
it
people
collapses?
in Foster.
Sure.
The bear's
I
bigger
want to see
than the
what
tent.
happens when it ends, and I'm still inside with Foster. Yes. Does he fit into the tent?
Have you ever seen The Fly?
Oh, sure.
So he'll look like a furbolg after he's thrown out because he'll be all hairy and tall.
Look more like a werebear, I think.
Sorry, Lark with bear arms is just an improvement, if anything. Lark
be
doesn't have to
amazing.
talk to Foster, he just has Foster
He
and
just
him
is
share a
Foster.
brain.
Oh no. It's just like Colony all over again.
Oh
And then one day he will just be Foster, but he won't disappear
No,
into the wind.
It's just fuck.
So it's towards the end of the
Foster's Lamina Island for abomination.
It's towards the end of the night. It's dark. Everyone is having a little bit of a celebration, enjoying the fact that you've made it to Base Camp 1. Half your journey is over, at least the journey on. The next half will be going back around towards the north and seeing the chitin. And then returning back. That'll be Base Camp 2, and then returning back to this other. Only a small skeleton crew remain aboard the ship. All of your friends are here. All of the other Cinder Roses are here, other than Earl. Little lights dot the ship itself as you look out over the water. There's a few campfires going around and lots of beer and ale and things being passed around. There's not a very bright moon out, just a sliver, so you can't see much around you other than what light is cast from the campfires. Strange sounds within the jungle are common, and you get used to them very quickly. Pip, for the most part, tells you what each and every single one was just by the sound it makes. You can see his hunter instinct starting to kick in, wanting to get back out and chase familiar prey. The lights on the ship out at sea, the little dotted lights and the little bits of the ship you can see start to rock heavily, like heavy waves are coming in. And then you hear a voice holler out from the ship. And then several voices. A moment later, you start to hear pistols being shot on the ship as the entire ship tilts almost 45 degrees to one side and sits there that way towards the back. People of the crew are starting to get to the longboats and they're hollering, wondering what's happening. I'm sure all of you are gearing up as well, unsure of what's happening. Still not quite able to see perfectly, unless somebody has some spell that might help. But it's still quite a ways away, 500 feet.
I have the goggles and dark vision now.
Dark vision only goes 60 feet, so unfortunately with the goggles, you can see a little bit better than others, but not by much. So what you see, Oshin, is you're kind of looking through these goggles. Anybody using a spyglass could probably get something kind of similar. Some of the lights start to disappear. Right before they do, Oshin, you see this very large, thick something sort of curl and wrap over them, larger than your field of vision with these goggles. It was sort of scaly, kind of greenish. You hear screaming and hollering from the ship. But within moments, before anybody has a chance to get more than maybe 50 feet off the shore with the ships, you hear splitting wood. The lights of the ship go off in different directions and start bobbing and weaving. People are screaming, you hear splashing. Half the ship gets pulled under the waves. The other half floats off. What was a defense tactic is now turned into a rescue tactic as everyone starts to go out and start to find all of the crewmates. And they find all of them. No one seems to have been seriously hurt. No one died. They start to help them back in over the next hour as they describe an immense snake, larger than anything they'd ever seen. Some of you who may have had dinner with Zeknar Feddles might remember such a snake being described. The only female of the species, because there's only room on Lamina for one. After that, the captain orders that all available personnel start heading out and salvaging equipment that they can into the night with torches and spells lit. Water breathing, hopefully, if some people can provide it.
Daylight
and diving. You rescue quite a lot of the equipment from the ship. No one's quite sure what or why they were attacked. You would guess the speculation that it was too big. It was seen as a threat. If that's the case, it was only a matter of time before there was an altercation. And unfortunately, as immense and amazing as the ship was, it was really no match for such a creature. Had more people been on board, it might have been much worse. There could have been many people that died. Luckily, with the quick thinking of the crew, they were able to stay out of the way. And when they realized all hope was lost, they abandoned ship. As you start to collect more and more of the equipment and bring it on board, more temporary housing, more permanent housing is put up. Tired and exhausted, you head to bed, and waiting sometime in the next couple of days, you and all of the Cinder Roses will sit down with the captain and try to decide on what to do. Stranded on an island where you can barely get a notice out, and you definitely can't leave. some decisions will need to be made. Luckily, with Pip and Zeknar there, you won't starve. You'll have fresh water. You could live indefinitely, provided the island doesn't slowly kill you off. Yes, GB.
GB each day will cast Magnificent Mansion, which has a feast inside capable of feeding, I think, the entire crew. It's 100 people for a 9-course meal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like
you're eating
900
like
people for one course.
So I'm going to forego having a 7th level spell every day.
Okay. So so at least dinner every night is enjoyable. Now, if you can put 100 people to eat there, does that mean you can have 100 rooms there? Does it fit 100 people?
So it's 50 cubes, each cube being 10 by 10, and yeah, I mean it's huge.
So you could set up
I can
barracks,
set it up
basically.
set up however I want it, basically.
Bunk beds. All the slides.
They go 3 high.
Jesus. All right.
So that's an option, but there is the precariousness of everybody tumbling out of it if it ever gets to spell.
Well, I think when I recast it, I don't know if it just stays there or if everything gets expelled. So
No, I think it just stays there. Because I think if you isn't one of those you can make permanent if you cast in the same spot for a year.
I don't believe so.
Who knows?
That's
I don't
the
think anybody's
temple.
tried to do it.
Zeknar, does that snake thing ever come on land?
To mate.
With what?
The males, much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
What,
Much.
so what season or time of year would that be?
Spring. It's the season of love.
And then what season is it right now for out of character?
Well, it's whatever. You're in the same hemisphere, so it's whatever season. I think we're about to start spring.
Yeah, I think so.
Going by the months, I think it's actually almost summer in game because it's been spring for like
It might be,
2
yeah.
months.
Great.
It might be over. She may be pregnant. That may be why she's.
Oh God.
It is quite the immense order.
Lots of rice.
She can receive from several different men,
Okay.
and carry all of their children.
It's why the species does not get all inbred is because there is constant variety.
Plus, they don't know how to bake.
They don't make
That was a
bread.
joke, Pip. Learn jokes. It's all right. It's one of my favorite things about being in this form.
Baby's learning.
You'll do fine, Pip. I would give it up to look like myself again, though.
Well, we are talking to the crown soon, so we can talk to them about doing. The crones can do anything.
So
You left very young, didn't you?
Pip was 12.
I used to believe in the crones, too. And he just kind of gives you a hug and then kind of heads off to have a beer or whiskey and go to bed. Anything else anybody needs to do to wrap up?
Lushin's gonna try to send at the sending zone.
Roll me a d20.
9.
It works.
Lark's been doing that every night too. Should I have been rolling? It wasn't. It was for his bedtime stories.
Pinball is specifically there's plot information being passed back and forth. That's why I think it's more important. Whereas Jastra isn't really following along with what's going on. She's just taking care of the kids. So if you would like to start talking about current events and things, then we need to start talking about rolling.
I'm literally just trying to finish my story. Mhm.
Yep.
our ship is gone. We're figuring out what to do. I think we can teleport in the middle of the island. I don't know. Be safe.
Did you get a busy signal?
No, Logan's trying to figure out because that's
I know
brutal news.
you are. I was just talking
Okay.
Ocean while you were trying to figure.
Trying to, like on the phone, like
I'm condescending.
I am sorry.
Be strong. We will as well. Nothing new up north. I love you. I am going to tell the boys. But I will stay positive. Promise you're coming home. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Promise you're coming home. Not promise you're coming home tomorrow.
Really?
That was it. That was 25 after all that. Damn. That's the last word. Damn. Yes, Sil?
If it makes any difference to the salvaging efforts, Sil would happily volunteer to just be on the bottom for as much as needs to be brought up.
So basically what they do, what I see is that somebody's going to cast daylight or light on you. You're going to go down to the bottom. They're going to start throwing ropes down, and then you're going to tie it off to shit and pull, and they're just going to let it go up. And you just stay down there the whole time, making piles of stuff to go up. Yeah, that's why I said you got most of it. And water breathing on top of that, you guys will get pretty much everything. And then eventually they'll find some of their scuba gear. And while they don't have the pumps right now, they can be used for a short time by themselves.
We could use the water elementals, because we saved them, I hope. Oh, no, we did. Yes, and. They're fine.
Nothing has been seen of either of them. They may not understand that they're not supposed to come back, and that's the part of the ship that's missing, is the parts with them, basically.
It's just like, we're just sitting here. This is our life now.
That doesn't mean that they won't be back.
Yeah.
Anything else? Last call?
She just sits outside alone for a while after that. That's it. Then eventually goes inside.
You're sitting there. Are you drinking? Are you just relaxing? Are you just crying? What's going on?
Just probably crying, honestly. A little like away from the group so no one can see. That's just sitting there. That's really it.
You're sitting there just kind of softly crying and being in this moment of fear, being away from your family. You feel this sort of push of air. And you hear crying on your lap. As you look down, there's a soft, small bundle of fur wearing little pants, crying into his paws.
Hey, don't cry.
He gets super like wide-eyed as he looks up and sees you. And then he starts crying more and just like clings to you.
Hey, it's okay.
Takes a few minutes to get him calmed down enough to be able to speak with you.
How? How did you get here?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's okay.
I want to be here. I miss you. And he starts
Okay.
crying more. And
I'll pick him up and take him inside. Because the mansion will be safe.
a few minutes later, actually about probably 30 minutes later, you get ascending. Third time's the charm. Hopefully you get this. Do you have glitter? He vanished while crying in front of me. I had to go buy several scrolls. Please tell me you have him.
Yes, he's here. I don't know how. I got him. He's safe. Chibi made a mansion.
And Lark gave him some bacon.
A few minutes later, 2 more scrolls. Not sure why this is so hard. No, it was 2 more scrolls. This is tough. Going to work with Arland to determine how he did it. That's all he says.
Yeah. Please figure it out. That's why we're here. And I would really like to go home.
That's all you get.
The city doesn't have any more scrolls.
He bought them. I don't know what the city is, I think.
Yeah, and take glitter inside to show everyone, let them know he's here.
Here is
He's
your
back.
bacon.
Glitter's back.
I don't know how he got here. Pimple's sent to me and said that he's trying to work with Arlen to figure it out, and I don't know, maybe that means we can just go home after they figure it out. So that's why we're here.
Next 20 minutes is just listening to just over and over again. Just sitting here and bawling his eyes out the entire time. Eventually he passes out in your arms. And if you put him down and try to walk away at all, that night he wakes up instantly and like clings to you. And I think that's where we're gonna end. Welcome to Lemon Island.
Again.
Everything else has been an intro. Teasers, a little plot to throw out there that I don't think anybody was expecting. Now the real adventure begins. we'll see everyone next Tuesday. We're coming Tuesday, but not Wednesday. And then we'll be here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday the following Tuesday. And then it's WonderCon. So hopefully we'll see you there. We're going to do a little bit of a live stream there as well. Gosh, I can't wait. I'm so excited to see all of you amazing nerds in person. And hopefully we'll see some of you amazing nerds as well. Thank you everyone again so very, very much. Let's see. I think we're just going to call it today. 6 o'clock tonight. I believe that we have, 5 o'clock in 20 minutes, we have Plot Hunters. But then at 6 o'clock, Kajari's Curious Crafts over on the channel /Curious Crafts is doing a one-shot that is their bonus content one-shot for the sub drive that's coming up. So you can go watch it live, or you can catch it as bonus content if you're a subscriber later. And they'll be talking about our big sub drive that's coming up here in a couple of months. So
it is going to be so worthwhile to just, even if you don't have time to watch it, go peek in, because the art is so good.
Yeah, the art,
CJ did the character art.
The CJ did the character art. Angela did the overlay, and then Anne from Curious Crafts, the host, created a incredible piece of terrain for it, and she's been building that. She built that over on Tuesday, I think. She was building that. It's really incredible. So go take a look, and have an amazing day. Enjoy yourselves. Relax. Talk to your friends, hydrate, all that good stuff. Thank you guys very much, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.